Hey, I appreciate y'all. I really do.
10, let's begin.
Because welcome to 4th and 1. Well, I always got it done. Bringing facts by the time before the rising of the sun. But this ain't me in the shotgun.
Baseball, basketball, football. Ho! Watch the light. Money back. Don't know that. Oh, between the leg on your head. Oh my God, get some air in the ball. Don't fall. Set the pig. I got you, bud. Scott. Oh my goodness. Help me, Lord. He back with it.
I say now, walk up.
Come on in, hey. Come on in, Come on in,
Okay, now welcome to 4th and 1. Well, I always got it done. Bringing facts by the time before the rising of the sun. This ain't me in the shot.
All right, try it again. Where at? For the win. I got to pick. Go around. You got to roll. Sky up. Oh, my goodness.
This is me in front of TV.
Hey.
I say this, me in front of TV. Me in front of TV. Me in front of TV. Boogie in front of TV having a whole lot of fun.
I gotta work on my beat, bro. My desk is glass, so I can't beat like I'm in the class, bro. So I just have to.
You said you trash.
No. I gotta be limited on the glass.
What you say now?
See, I just need my number 2 pencil, bro.
Number 2? Mm-hmm. You know about that.
That's that back of the day. That's that grinding beat. What you got?
Really? This that ISS work.
Okay.
Cause no, you know.
Hey.
But then when you got them 2 pencils.
You say? Oh. Okay. All right.
That's how you know I used to always stay in trouble.
That boy about to go to Dr. Lee.
You dig what I'm saying?
Later, Annie
Go on over there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no pressure. But I ain't promoting or condoning ISS activity. It was just a lot of things that I learned in ISS. Mm-hmm. Time used wisely.
Yes, sir. Learn how to be.
I will also admonish anybody who's watching this. Would you like to start at Peggy? Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you comment, but most of all, make sure they do what, Peggy?
Subscribe, yo! Yeah!
Okay.
Wait on that.
Yeah.
You gotta let him wait on it.
Just wait on it.
Wait on it.
Here we go. Now, this young man has really embraced the 4th and 1 way.
He has. Mm-hmm. Get out of soul.
Big Jimbo, not the little one. Step up to the mic and tell the people, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you comment, but most of all, make sure they do what? Subscribe,
Yo, shit, Jimbo. Oh, my goodness. You left it all on the field.
That's it. We need to commit. We need to commit.
We didn't hit him with no yeah.
See, Jimbo is the definition, stay with me now,
okay,
of the pig.
Ooh, what's the pig?
You ever heard of the story of the pig and the chicken?
Well, do you got some time, brother?
Now listen, stay with me now. Mm-hmm. The pig committed.
Okay.
The chicken just,
He plucked.
You know what I'm saying? What the chicken gave up for your breakfast and what the pig gave up for your breakfast is 2 different situations.
Okay.
The pig committed his life.
The chicken.
The chicken just,
Lady.
blue.
I got you.
You dig what I'm saying?
Okay, I see it.
So no disrespect to my dog Jimbo. My dog just committed. You dig what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Let's see if anybody else can be pigs out here. Mm-hmm. Oink, oink. Now, let me get my soul brothers to match the Caucasian energy in here. Drop top, step up to the mic. Remind the people, make sure they like, make sure they share, make sure they comment, but most of all, make sure they do what? Subscribe, doggy.
And that is your last time subscribing, mother.
There is a character on Recess, the the fat one, right? There was an episode when he could sing, but he went into the bathroom to sing, and it echoed through, bruh, and it sounded just like that. Hey, like it was so deep. That dude, right there, bro, that guy right there. But anywho, nevertheless, we ain't even made it through praise and worship.
I mean, good God Almighty.
Everybody telling their testimony. Pray for me, y'all. Cigar done went out. We in for a good show today. I promise you wouldn't want to miss this. Here we go. First down, viral moment of the week.
Travis Hunter said he'll rather quit football than play only wide receiver or cornerback in the NFL. Cam, what do you think about Hunter's comments, and what do you really think he meant? Like, I'm never gonna play football again.
He's serious about playing both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's delusional to the toll it's gonna take on him.
So let me speak on that too, because he feels like it would be more of a toll mentally than physically, because you're learning both sides of the ball, learning the aspect. But just to put on record, it is important that no team has expressed an issue with him playing both sides of the ball as of yet. For the interviews he went on, nobody seemed like it was an issue for him playing both sides.
No, it's not. But is it something that's sustainable throughout this season? Like, he can have packages, but you have to start somewhere.
So you saying being number one cornerback and number one wide receiver?
No, that's not realistic, bro. That's and Travis, Bartholomew Hunter, the great Esquire. Understand this. I'll give me one team, Peggy. Matter of fact, I'll give
Cleveland. Go with Cleveland.
Cleveland. To have to cover a Jared Judy and then have to come back and be covered by a Denzel Ward, bro, you playing with grown men. Not this, you ain't playing with peers no more. You playing with grown men. You playing with all pros. You playing with people who've been playing and studying this game at the professional level for 6+, 7+, 3+, 2+ years. The physicality, the mental aspect, that's what you have. You ain't witnessed that yet. And to do it on both sides, that's not to say you can't have packages. Packages is, okay, we got a nickel package with Travis. We have a 5-wide package or 11 personnel package with Travis offensively. But to say, okay, I'm gonna go from defense playing the first drive, which would maybe 8 to 11 play drive, and then starting out and then going back to playing defense for 17 games and playoffs.
That minimum, yeah.
How long are we going to be able to do that?
Yeah. But let me ask you this, though, even with, like, packages or whatnot. And I think even with Travis, like, him playing a percentage of the plays, like, how often? So if he's starting that corner, right, I'm playing that every down, how much would you even, if you gave me a certain percentage of snaps, like how many? Like, what's your percentage of snaps you think he could play?
Let's start with 50% of the snaps.
Okay.
Let's just start with 50.
That's a good.
But amount. When I think about starting, I'm thinking about you're the number one option. That's not realistic, bro.
On both ends.
That's not realistic. If you think about the Miami Dolphins, you gotta cover Tyreek Hill and then be covered by Jalen Ramsey. Bruh, these are grown men. And you know what? Let me say it like this. I'm projecting my fear on Travis Hunter, and that's not right. Matter of fact, I hope he does it, because now it opens up the possibility of what we have been brainwashed to think that
it can't be done.
You know what? And let me check myself.
Yeah.
If he want to do that, let him do it. Let him figure it out.
If he's able to do it.
And if he's able to do it, we're not talking about that. And I think that's what a lot of people are thinking like. We're projecting our issues.
I can't think it in my mind to do it.
We've never seen it.
Yeah.
We've never seen it. And to think like, because at one point, He was very bold, bullish about this same idea in college. Oh, man, you can't do that in college.
And it worked.
Did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, Travis Bartholomew Hunter, the Great Esquire. By all means, bro, stand on business. But I know this to be true about him. He will be prepared.
Yeah.
It's gonna take some training, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Like it's like he gonna have to tap into a whole different sector because that league is a different monster.
Now I have to ask you this, and this is off camera. We talked about this. Hypothetically,
Yeah.
Travis plays number one on both ends, cornerback, wide receiver. Mm-hmm. When it comes to starting to sign a contract, where would they place him in regards? Like, would it contractually, like, would they have to pay him on both sides, or just like as now, like you're just the best cornerback, so we're gonna pay you at the top end of a cornerback, or you're the best wide receiver? Like, how should you go about doing a contract like that?
I think the league should take this approach and let's go by positions. Like every team has a position that is more valuable than the next team's position. What I mean by that is, when you think about the Kansas City Chiefs, what position is the most valuable?
On their team, they're quarterback.
Quarterback, right? But there's other teams that does not have or that doesn't play through their quarterback.
No.
Right? So you have like a 49ers, and this was the healthy Christian McCaffrey.
Correct.
So when you have a position, like it should be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, all the way, boom. Whatever that number 1 is, it don't matter if it's a running back, linebacker, tight end, receiver, that person should garner that money, right? And that will retract, and that will make everybody understand, like, yo, if I'm playing for this team, then the most money should go to the most valuable player on that team.
But I think that might switch depending on the coach that they get, because the scheme might change.
Hello.
So now I get this coach, now my money going to change?
Hello.
But what I'm asking is.
And it changes regardless anyway, though.
That's true. It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. So and to your point, it's like, yo, if I get a coach who runs a 3-4, then that puts the onus on the old school DNs. Like the DNs got to be more athletic. The chances of me staying here, being a run stopper, I got to be able to drop back in coverage. I got to be able to do this. I got to be able to rush the quarterback as well. Like you ain't thinking about that.
But should they pay him double if he's doing double the work? That's what I'm saying.
That's for them to figure out.
Hey, the GM.
It's just like, look, if he's going to create a position for itself, bro.
I think he's going to create it. If
he's
he's
the
successful.
leader. He's the leader of the new generation of athletes. And so many times athletes have been shunned because it just hasn't been done before. Yeah. But you have a guy who's been very open about, bro, I want to play both sides of the ball. Let him play it. And then have a realization to say, hey, even though your competitiveness wants you to play, you're not helping us. You dig what I'm saying? You're becoming a liability. And it's sad to say, or it's like, whoa, can we really say that about Travis? Man, let the dude go out there and play whatever you want to play, and we'll figure it out on the go. Because when somebody's so good, you'll find a position for him.
You're gonna find your way on the field.
Look, let me tell you something, man. Get that dude the ball, and a lot of it. Yeah. It's so much that, like, behind the scenes of a football game, coaches who are defensive minds will always chime in to offensive minded coaches. Hey, get so-and-so the ball. It's 3rd and 3. Get him the ball. I want him to touch the ball. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And what they gonna do? Get him the ball.
Fact.
Feel me?
That's real.
So that's where we at with it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Next clip.
So Kyron Lacy, he has passed away this past weekend. Former LSU wide receiver, passed away with the injury to himself, and he took his life. His dad went to social media and put a heartfelt message, and it reads, "Young parents, start talking to your kids at a very early age and make sure they are confident and comfortable confiding in you. Don't be cool with 'I'm all right and I'm good.' When you know deep down something isn't right, mental health is real, and for the most part, it's invisible. Don't ignore the signs, even if they may seem small. And he goes on to speak about mental health and his son. So just a backstory, Lacy was facing charges with a fatal car crash in December, including negligent homicide and a hit and run. But his legal team maintained he was not at fault. But I guess a lot was on his mind, and he took his own life.
Yeah.
Also, we had Acho chime in about his passing.
This Kyron Lacy situation has me sick to my stomach, and I want to share something because maybe it'll save a life. A skydiving instructor, he noted that if your parachute fails to open, it's not the initial blow that will kill you. He noted that obviously all your bones will fracture. He said, but it's the bounce. It's those fractured bones then puncturing your lungs upon the bounce that ends the life. In the same manner, the author who I'm quoting has suggested we all hit the ground hard. We've all hit the ground hard. Maybe at work, maybe in our romantic relationships, maybe even in the law and with the law, but it's not the initial blow that we have to be most mindful of. It's the bounce. In the same manner, if anyone you know has hit the ground hard in life, catch them before the bounce. And if you have hit the ground hard, whether in private or in public, please be mindful of the bounce. This Kyron Lacy situation just brings so much pain to my mind and to my heart, and I just wanted to share that. Be mindful of the bounce.
So Cam, obviously you coach young athletes and young men and mentor them, and you never really know what's going on. Obviously you can talk to them, but what was your thoughts on this Kyron Lacy situation and his suicide?
Man, shout out to his dad, man, for that message, because I think he said a lot, but one of the things is the sickness is invisible. Mm-hmm. Mental health, we all go through it. And it was shocking. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to believe it. You know, I critiqued Kyron Lacy with the gesture that he did during the season, but never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I would be saying rest in peace to a young man who had his whole life in front of him. Mm. I think back at when I was 24 years old. I think back at thinking that, man, life is a lot. And the reality is, this is when your support system really shows their worth, shows their value. Not yes men, not yes woman, not even no man or no woman. It's just to really understand you. I would always say this about being an adult now. What's the biggest flex? And the biggest flex is being understood. Understood to the degree that when you're understood, people know. Man, easy, man. Cam, he going through something right now, but I got him, though. Yeah, it came off. I'm going to talk to him. I know how to get through. I know how to talk. But that comes also, it's a transactional relationship that in order to get, you have to give. And that's the hardest part for individuals who's battling certain things, is they don't give the information because they think nobody can really cope with what they're going through. And in some cases, the reality is that may be true. Going back to good advice saves lives, bad advice will kill you. When I say that in this particular situation, the help needs to come from two sources, not just one source. Because you can have a support system that's like, hey, man, you good? Yeah, man, I'm good, bro. Nah. Being understood, though. That person who's asking that question, and they looking into your eyes, and they looking into your demeanor, and they looking into your soul, and they looking at your actions, they looking at what you posting, they looking at how you carrying yourself. They're looking at your everyday dealings like, nah, this ain't Peggy. Hey, bro, where you at? Matter of fact, I'm about to push up on you. No. Negro, where you at? I'm about to push up on you. See, that type of relationship right there, that type of accountability, that type of warmth and knowing that, bro, every conversation ain't gonna be led with anger. Sometimes it does lead to tears. Sometimes it does lead to real emotions where, yeah, you're shouting, but it's just to be understood. And I just would ask those who are going through things, find that person, find that group, find that tribe that you can really lean into and get help.
Yeah.
Right? Because nobody is above that type of mental pressure. It's like, man, golly, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. What do I do? Who do I go talk to? But trust and believe with great counsel, with great help, people around you, if you're giving them that type of access to you, even they should be able to cipher through and say, you know what, bro, you got to go get a psychologist. Man, I'm going to go with you. Matter of fact, I'm going to be responsible for taking you. Like, though, whatever it may be. And sometimes some people may feel like, yo, I don't need to talk to a psychologist. I just need to talk to somebody, right? Because if you're like me, I don't feel comfortable with talking to strangers. I just don't. I lean on the people who really have shown me grace, not only through the good times, but the bad times as well. And call me crazy. I lean on people who know me. That's why co-parenting is essential, right? Having a great relationships with the mother of my children is essential, right? Understanding the balance is saying like, hey, having an understanding with my girlfriend to say like, yo, I need this, and being very intentional to what you need.
Yeah.
Hey, I need to talk to my brother right now, bro. I need to talk to my dad, man. I need to talk to my mom. And I just want to be with my friends, bro. That type of intentionality is what you need that's going to get you out and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm good. And it may be that season of sorrow. But one thing about a rain, Peg,
What's up?
it's going to stop and that rainbow going to come. And you're going to be able to look back and say, you know what? I learned something from it. It's not a loss, it's just a lesson. We always hear it. It's not a loss, it's just a lesson. And I would like to take a moment to just, tell everybody to keep the Lacy family in their thoughts and prayers, because that's a lot, man. As a father, my heart goes out to the dad, because you never think that you will bury your son. You think it will be the other way. Your son will be burying you. Mm-hmm. But when that does happen, what do you do? So anybody who's going through any type of mental strain, man, find that tribe, find that ecosystem, find the friend, find the family member that understands you or is willing to understand you without ridicule, without judgment. And the worst thing that you can do if you're the listener is to judge the action. Just listen. Just listen.
Yeah.
Because the last thing, if I'm telling you what my issue is and you judging me, and I'm like, man, you know what? Don't even worry about it, bro. Y'all laughing at me. I'm being vulnerable. That's the worst thing that can happen. So it takes two to give, and also it takes another to get in order for any relationship to be pure.
I would say one thing in regards to this too is I think oftentimes we see athletes, entertainers, artists, and they have to deal with life in front of the world, So even him as a football player at LSU, you got to perform in front of the world. He do something out and about. It's just not an average kid his age that's doing it. So he's known and noticed. Obviously, he was on his way to be a potential NFL player. And so dealing with this amount of pressure in front of the world can be taxing when nobody else really understands what you're going through. And they might, but not to the magnitude, not the fact that they have to deal with their faults in front of the world. And so even for all of the people that the world might know in front of, public or on the screen, it's just like, there are still people to talk to, even other people that's going through your shoes, just like you, for instance. Like, you have kids that dealing with stuff publicly, and their parent might not have to deal with that, but they can call a coach, they can call somebody else. So it's always an out. It's always another way, or a person you can talk to help you through your situation.
And lastly, it's never a good thing when you got to suffer in silence.
Yeah, that's real. And that's for black men in general, just people in general, but definitely us and our culture. We just so used to that.
Shut up. Don't cry. Don't let them see you cry.
Yeah.
But you got something so bottled up. And you use the analogy of a soda. When things get shooken up and you shaking up and you ain't doing nothing, that don't mean it's not going to spew and explode. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to let it out. Some way, somehow. Find your tribe. Find your outlet. And really yearn for being understood. And I say it all in all seriousness. But I'll be hurt, really hurt, if you check out on me. You dig what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that's close to me and serve a lot of different toes and different kind of buckets in my life, bro. And I want to give you your flowers, Peggy. You serve a lot to me, bro.
Likewise, bro.
Friend, business associate, business partner, and to see you grow and keep growing, to holding the camera, following me, to seeing you all now. It does my heart good to be able to say week after week,
What's good, bud? Yeah! Come on now. Damn, we both gotta get down. We down, but we ain't out.
How was your weekend, Peg?
Bro, the weekend was swell. Back in the Queen City. C went in, back again. Felt good to be out there though. The foe, Charlotte.
Man, let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you. Even though you serve a lot of buckets in my life, Peggy, I don't appreciate one thing.
What?
You ain't invite me to the kickback. You ain't invite me to your little rendezvous.
Man, I didn't even know about the kickback until this how it happened. So my best friend, that was the biggest thing about my weekend, I would say that. Being back in city, when you talk about your friend and your tribe, and my friend, she having a child, and so she hit me on the phone. It was her baby shower, and I had to go to. I couldn't miss it. And she was like, man, Dan, it's 20 years of friendship. And that's something that you're like, damn, that's a long time. But just having people in your life that's been in your life, and when you're saying growing and evolving, and y'all able to still grow together, because a lot of people don't make it, past a certain amount of time. Certain people got expiration dates.
That low.
You know what I'm saying? And that's from relationships to friendships, partnerships.
To your life.
So, just to have somebody that you keep rocking and rolling is big. But the rendezvous was my cousin's 55th birthday. And I didn't even know. I'm looking for my family leaving the field. And they like, bro, we at Cuzzo's house. So we call her Flossie. She was flossing. And so the rendezvous, man. But, you got to come down for the cookout. We doing something for Easter. I'm still be here in the city though. But yeah, man, we always invited to the cookout, bro. You're always invited to the party.
Evidently not. I'm over here looking at your story, and I'm saying like, Peg, what Peg at? All I hear, oh, getting my boots on the ground. I said, hold on.
That's my mama. She loved the line there.
What them fans? I said, hold on. Wait a minute. I was just with him. He didn't mention nothing.
Man, I was on the way to the crib.
I felt puzzled. Let us straight.
Bro, I felt that way about my own family. I'm going home and I'm like, where's everybody at? Bro, we had cousin. I'm like, oh, I definitely gotta pull up. So I was glad I was able to see them. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta pull up in Charlotte when we ain't even doing nothing. Just pull up just for the pull up.
Y'all ain't do nothing.
I'm just saying. I said we can go down to Charlotte.
I don't want to go no more.
So now you don't want to go. See, that is prime time, Cam. You like, man, Cam, come on. Nah, I ain't going. Now if you go without him, dang, you ain't gonna invite me. Cam is one of the people. I just wanted you to invite me just so I can say no.
Hello, I'm that friend. Give me options.
No, my God.
Not giving me no option. It's just like spitting in my face.
Man,
like it's so disrespectful.
I cannot
to be able to just say, "Hey, bro, what you doing?" Man, nothing, man. I'm hungry, bro. I've been fasting. Hey, man, I'm gonna pull up to the crib, man. We got some good food, man. Nah, I'm good. I can spit back.
Slap that hat off, man.
Huh? I just saying, man. I felt a certain type of way, Peggy.
Well, you know what, bro?
This is me giving to you
the real. I appreciate it.
I'm like, bro, how? I wish I was based in Charlotte. I really do wish I was based in Charlotte. Don't let that fly over your head, your dreads, or your toupee. And then we come back to Atlanta, and I'm with my peoples. And I wish I would be around you all day and then say, you know what? Let me hit old Peg and the crew. So y'all come through.
You know what, I'm gonna invite you next, cause I be worried. I'm like, man, everybody ain't gonna let Cam chill. We back in the city. They like, man, shit, he came to the house. He can take a picture. He can do this. He can eat some of this cake. He can try my cake. He can try my food.
Everything was good. The cake, all that food. But when I had, I get my boots on the ground. Where them fans at? I said, hold on. I was trying to learn to dance. I said, hold on. I said, damn, Peggy. But no, you just wanted to be the party hog.
Man.
That was selfish of you.
Man, come on.
You ain't want Bug to get no shine.
Nah, that's what it is, man. Now I'm trying to keep you in the shade. Now I'm trying to keep you in the dark.
You're trying to keep me in the dark.
Oh, my
You're trying to make it about you.
That's what
you
it
ain't
is.
trying to let the love be in abundance.
Oh, my God.
Let it spew on over the old little bitty Bug.
Nah, I pass it around, man. I pass the love around, brother.
I'll be doggone.
Ain't no ball.
No.
Ain't no ball. Well, how was your weekend then?
My weekend was dapper.
Mm-hmm.
It was impeccable. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Queen City for showing out and showing up. Because they sure did that.
They did, though.
I mean, Huff High School gave us some good hospitality. The people came. I learned to dance.
You did.
Oh, I get my boots on the ground. Where them fans at? I don't need the fans, though.
Nah, you don't need a fan.
No.
You don't need that.
Everything. Whoa, I'm good. But where them fans? That's where I let my ladies
do their thing.
You dig what I'm saying?
I don't need the fan.
Because it's a big movement. If that's
is.
a new song, that got to be a new song. I've never heard that song before.
I think
this year, right?
Don't quote me. I think so.
But I just heard it this year. And I've seen the folks on social media, man, they getting in their lines. And you know, black folk, I love us some black folk. Mm-hmm. They getting the cowboy hats and them Daisy Dukes. And
they getting to
that's in trouble now. You gonna get into trouble.
That's them trail ride parties.
It's spring.
Oh, yeah.
You know what season we going into, Peg?
Sundress season.
Sundress season. Hey. I'm trying to tell you, don't let that $18 sundress cost you 18 years of your life. Where them fans at? Where them bands at? Trying to tell you. Well, I'm telling you, them sundresses is coming out in spring and they looking, oh my God.
Goodness.
They looking good.
God.
Good.
God.
Like I tell my lady, I say, baby, I can look on the menu. I just can't order it. I got to see what the restaurant known for. What's y'all Big Mac? She goes, snap it. Easy. You seen what I saw. All the men know that. Yeah. And y'all ladies know what y'all doing. Keep doing it. I like it. You know what I'm saying? We getting, you know what I'm saying? It's bad to look.
Yeah.
I
got my boots on the ground.
I can't wait to go to a day party and
they're trail ride parties. That's what they call them, trail rides.
Trail rides? Mm-hmm. They got them boots. and they got them, and then they wore the thinnest clothing. They wore them a little tank top.
Yeah.
Go on, sir. Go on and get cute on them. Stun on your ex. I hope I'm at a party where the girl just left fresh out of a relationship. Cause that's what they be, girl.
That's when they want to step the hardest.
Man, she went from a kept girl to a city girl. Woo.
Golly. Walked around the house looking like a 2, trying to step out looking like a 10.
Let me try to tell you.
God, man.
Oh. But other than that, man, listen, I love me this weekend. Had my 2 soldiers with me, Caesar and Pumbaa, and boy, they ran me amok. That's what I would have told you and said no. That's why I couldn't come to the party.
And I knew you had a key.
I had, you know, as a parent, I
cheering.
take pride. Cheering. As a parent, I take pride in being a hands-on dad. You know what I'm saying? I got help. I got nanny. I don't even like to call her nanny. I like to call her the godmother. She's been such a blessing in my life, but I didn't have her this weekend, Peggy. They interfering all on the field, running around. It's like, hey, get your... It's one of them situations.
Yeah.
So I had to give them a bad, long day.
Yeah.
They musky. Is it musky or musty?
I said musty. But it's like musk. So it might be musky.
No. You can't have them kids look.
Funky.
Nah, y'all gotta hit that water. Y'all seen that soap opera? Huh? That soap. You gotta see that soap. The shower, huh? Don't be no dirty little dude. Don't nobody get that. Them baby kids with them gnats flying around, them nuts and them butt cheeks. Like, no, So that's what I had to do, Pat. I had to be a father, proud father.
Yes, sir.
We went to Waffle House and gave them that All-Star. That was a broke dude's caviar.
That's it.
What? Had a time.
Pigging out.
Appreciate you, Queen City. I hope that y'all keep accepting me. There you go. Next clip.
So next up, Boog, man, we got the baseball reporter. Collecting more than interviews. He's collecting numbers on the job.
Things are pretty great, Brandon. We're having a lot of fun up here up the Corona rooftop. Who do we got here? What's your name?
My name's Lauren.
Lawrence, all right.
And I'm Kayla.
Kayla, and you guys hang out at the rooftop lounge often?
Once a year I come out to visit.
Okay, well, we timed it pretty well. All right, good. How are you guys feeling about rooting for the Braves today?
Oof, I don't know. I'm hoping for the best.
What about you? Are you a Braves fan now?
Not quite.
Not quite. All right, I'm gonna go to work up here, guys. Good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, Wiley. You got 4 innings to get the numbers.
I'm on it.
Get us some more Braves fans.
All right, so they want me to get your number.
They want you to get my number.
I'm dead serious. They're saying in my ear right now. She doesn't believe me because she thinks you guys are not. I'm making this up. Even if you guys weren't, I might use that in the future. That's actually a pretty good move.
This is unbelievable.
So the best part of this right now is that Wiley could totally be faking it. This might be the new move. Just walk around with a FanDuel microphone and an earpiece in and convince fans that they're actually on TV.
I should have thought of this years ago.
I am speechless.
I got the number. We're good.
I got the number. We're good.
Listen. This is a perfect example. First off, for anybody in live TV, you got to prep. Somebody has to. You can't just go around and leave it in the guy's hands to choose who he wants to talk to, because there's clearly an oblivion from the 2 people he chose. Are you a Braves fan? Nah. Right? Take me out to the ball game. Baseball games are vibes, though.
They are.
You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them. Like, you gotta. Somebody has. So where the producer at to be able to say, "Hey, do you know anything about baseball? Do you want to be on a FanDuel? Impromptu questions?" Because they didn't answer none of the questions.
They didn't.
He literally was like, he was gonna shoot his shot and then boom. Heaven forbid that she got a situation out.
Oh man, and she on national TV.
Oh,
yeah, bro, this your girl. She gave her number out.
Now, this is the thing though. Did she give the number? Because nowadays, females hitting you with the follow me on social media.
I think she gave him the number though. I think he executed.
Like,
play perfect.
Let's go out in the crowd and see. Did we get the number? Do you think he got the number and really was able to do some damage, or was this is just a salve plea? Like, you know what? Here, boom.
I think he got the number. Now, in terms of doing damage, to be determined. We don't know what his wordplay is like. We don't know how his swag is. We don't know if there's a type of mutual interest in terms of what they both like. But he stepped up to the plate. Now, is he batting with that torpedo bat the Yankees are using?
I love the way he put it together.
We don't know. We got to wait and see. We got to get a follow-up, Braves. Let's get a follow-up.
We need a follow-up.
We do need a follow-up.
We heard it here first.
Because did he get the first base or did he?
Did he get the first base?
Was it a homer? Hey.
A grand slam situation would have been that night.
Oh, my goodness. But we know that he got on first.
Yeah.
A good bunt. He got to the first. Yeah, he got the number. That's first. He got there. You know what I'm saying? But he seemed like he got what they say, that Rizz. He got a little Rizz. He was talking to her, had her laughing,
but
giggling.
I don't like begging and pleading. It's like, no, for real. It's like, yo, see, this is the thing. This is game one-on-one right here. Fellas, do not get hit with the okie doke. Read the signs. Be aware going into any situation. When you approach a young lady, you can tell by certain things, her body demeanor. Read the body language, her eyes, right? Is she looking like she busy? She's not interested, okay? If her body changes and she's going into defense, you gotta read that. You gotta get her comfortable, okay? And then when you do go in for the kill shot of finding out if you can get her number, if she give you the social media, you might as well stop the relationship right there because nothing's gonna come from that, okay? It's like, hey, what's your number? I'll give you my gram. Like, no.
So you don't think it's no recover from that?
No, bro.
From the gram?
No, a gram is just a gatekeep.
So what's the difference between getting that versus you sliding in the DM and then?
See, I'm going to tell you something. Because we really got to do an analysis. Because girls will use that as just a buffer. Like, no, bro, just follow me on the gram and just
we'll connect and then never see them.
Girls like alphas. You got to know what you want and go get it. Now, easy. Don't be too strong. Buff Bagwell, Lex Luger, Hulk Hogan in there. Hey, babe. Hey, hold on. Come here real quick. Hey, man, bro.
Don't be doing all the arm grabbing and
saying?
blocking her eyes.
Hey, ma. Hey, excuse me, babe.
You gonna give me your number?
Nah, bro. You got to be able to read. You got to find the mic. You got to find your safeties. Hey, it's a shade and it's a nickel test. Hey, coach said that's a high pressure situation.
Yeah. Talk to him,
it's
bro.
Corner cat. Hey, the
corner cat.
the corner's press. I see Bryant he's cheating over here. Hey, bro, we got to slide. Got to know. If she's just going to give you her social, just take that as your lesson and saying she ain't really fooling with you.
So let me ask you this too, because if we're gonna break it down like that, right?
To me.
So sometimes you have a blocker, so that's your wingman, all right? So say if you got a lead blocker trying to pick up the friend, and then when is the time that you have to be like, bro, solo, imano? Because sometimes people, they too attached to their wingman. That is like they not giving the alpha energy. They're not giving that solo ISO. Just me and you.
I got you.
Like when is that the right time to be like, look, this time to separate? You know what I'm saying?
Every situation, man, go in it like you're Rambo. Leave your friends, leave your partners, your posse, your clan alone.
Every man for himself. God for us all.
And I'm telling you, when you go in with that mentality, especially at a game, oh man, she going at the concession stand. Hey, I'm gonna be right back real quick. Then this is the killer part, because you really can knock two birds out with one stone and really figure it out. I love girls or loved girls. We talking in past tense here.
Past tense.
I loved girls who had friends with them.
Now, some people are intimidated by the friend. Oh, she with her friends. I gotta communicate with everybody.
No, you don't.
So talk to me, boo.
See, boop.
That's the radar?
Boop. Not on no sketchy stuff. You just really, you're trying to find the safety. You got to identify the mic.
You at the line.
You know what I'm saying? You really having to say, you just passed half court and you got to say, whoa,
yes.
trap coming.
Okay, pull back.
Why not? Right? As you're finding out this intel, you're approaching the friend. Don't go directly to the shark. You got to go to the tadpole.
You don't need the prize, fish.
No. See, this is how we
Sometimes you got to go to the jellyfish, the blowfish.
The blowfish. I'm going to go to the blowfish and say, hey, friend, I need your help. She going to be like, who? What's up? Hey. I'm interested in your friend. She got a man? I don't know. Ask her.
Don't worry about it.
And that's how you got to check her and tell her what your intentions are tell her, like, listen, now I'm about to go after your friend. I don't need you to be blocking my blessing.
Okay, he's throwing away. Don't block my blessing. Let him do it. Let him work it out.
Because I came to this baseball game, and I'm gonna hit a home run.
All right, Barry Bonds.
You gotta put them nouns and verbs together. See, that's the thing that I told folks. Having money was just a cherry on top.
Okay.
I could spit game with the best of them. Somebody told me in my past life I was a pimp.
Oh.
I ain't said it. Somebody said it. So when I'm already checking a friend and saying, baby, listen, I ain't even that I gotta even tell her this. You'll be my type, but your friend, there's something about her that I want. Just give me something. Help me out, friend. How can I get her? I don't know. You get her. Say less. What's her name? Jazz. Say less. Now you got intel.
Okay.
And then if you're really good, you block her out.
Yeah,
and then you make it an ISO.
What you say? You gotta block out. Get the rebound, baby.
You just gotta block her out. And if she really being rambunctious, that's when you, hey, Peggy already knows. He got to take this one for the team.
No, bro, I'm gonna tell you, man.
Hey, baby, come on real quick. You like some nachos? Come on. Let's go on over here and let's get what you want. What the IAW? What them beers called? IPAs. Or you just want an old Budweiser?
Oh, she's an old Bud.
You dig? Like, come on, baby. This
She's a Corona Coors Light type of
You
drinker.
gotta have a plan. Yeah. Now, when you get her isolated, now you can really do what you came here to do.
See, but one thing you missed out.
Talk to me, Peg.
See, you got to be able to reciprocate that same energy, because I got your back on that one, my brother.
Oh, Peggy.
But the next blowfish that come my way.
I got you.
Boo.
I got you.
Step up.
And I'm coming.
Hey, Superman.
I'm coming like a raging ball. Boo. Come on, baby. Come on over here.
I need my lead blocker.
Come on.
Let me get out the friend
zone.
We're about to get us a pretzel.
Come on, let's get us a pretzel. Come on, get out of here. Because you ain't making matters better.
Come on,
making matters worse. Because now I can start talking to the friend in peace. Now they relocate. That's a win-win.
That's a win-win.
I don't need nobody. I don't like friends.
Yeah.
I don't like my friends. I don't like your friends. Let's go somewhere that we can be friends.
That talk to me now. We can do this every weekend.
We got Daponomics 101, 2.0. We got nouns and verbs, spitting game 1.0.
1.0.
Out now. 4th and 1.
There
Here we go. Next clip.
Bruce Arians goes in on AR5. Golly.
Anthony, I think, needed 2 more years of college. You know, as a passer, not as an athlete. He's a great athlete. But as a passer, I didn't see him coming out being able to beat anybody in 2 minute and third down. And that's where you win in the NFL. If you can't win third down in 2 minutes, you're just an average guy. And I don't care how good you run. You don't run the ball in 2 minutes. As a quarterback, you throw it.
Obviously, nowadays, everybody might be like, oh, you hating. But is he speaking real? Is Bruce Arians speaking real about Anthony Richardson in the way that his game is right now?
He can learn it. He can learn it. I think that really comes down to the coach's philosophy and understanding the personnel. And it's a comfort thing, too. And he has to be willing to get better at that. Now, athlete, he's elite. But even being an athlete running the football, you got to be smart, bro. You can't bowl over everybody in this league, bro. You got to know when to hold them
Know when to fold them.
And at that position, you can slide and slide. Now, with throwing the football, it comes down to personnel and philosophy.
Okay.
Those two P's, right? That's not an F pick.
I already know.
Right.
You got me
Personnel
shot.
and philosophy. With your personnel, I think what the Carolina Panthers realized with me is we got to get Cam some big receivers.
Okay.
A la Kelvin Benjamin, a la Devin Funches. Greg Olsen was 6'6". See what I'm saying? And putting that personnel around your franchise guy will assist in that matter. Right? Now, and help me out with this.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times in this industry of content and in media, being a former player, what's your take? And there's a follow-up from there with what Coach Arians said.
I agree with BA. The concern that I had with AR, and I think this is more about the organization with the coach than Anthony Richardson as a player. They mismanaged this entire situation. He only had 13 starts in college football.
That's true.
In those 13 starts, he wasn't playing like Cam Ward. He wasn't playing like Shedeur Sanders. So clearly he was raw. So they needed to exercise patience when you drafted him top 5. What they did was drafted a quarterback that lacked experience, lacked reps, and gave him the keys to the car.
That's true. He didn't have a license.
He didn't even have a permit. Gave him the keys to say, drive us to the promised land, get us home.
That's true.
Can't. He don't know how to drive. He hasn't seen enough of it. So then when you throw him into that fire and he doesn't excel, now you're ready to go ahead and move on. And that's what they're doing right now with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
They brought Daniel Jones in there to take the keys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or to nudge him.
Or to nudge him. But I felt like year one for Anthony Richardson, because he was so raw, allow him to see it from afar.
Yeah.
You know, you saw what Drake May happened with Drake May with the Patriots.
Yes.
He wasn't day one starter.
Correct.
He didn't need to be.
Yeah.
You know, they allowed Jacoby Brissett to be the guy, and then he took the wheels and he managed the system fairly well.
So two things that I want to bring up here is the game has changed, though, Mac. In the idea of every franchise is looking for the C.J. Stroud, the
Jaden
Daniels,
Daniels.
the RG3, the Andrew Luck. We want instant impact
Right now.
Yeah.
yesterday. You dig what I'm saying? And it's not realistic. It doesn't always go that way.
Yeah.
And it's not realistic for players to come in with this much pressure, because what Jaden Daniels was able to do is something that probably will never be done again. It was that successful where he's like, bro, he got a playoff win and he was one game away. Man. But C.J. Stroud did it the year before. But the reality of it all is whether he was prepared or not, because some looked at my career and said he only got 14 games as a, major college football.
That's true.
But I was willing, and my circumstance was.
And Cam, you were different. That 14 game, you took him there.
Yeah, you took him. Yeah, you
took him.
won. Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So when I looked at.
He was unproven.
Anthony Richardson, man, and let's be real, Cam.
Talk to me nice.
If Anthony Richardson does not run that 4.53, he's not a top 10 pick. They drafted him based on the athleticism,
Upside.
The
upside, and
the
we can make
potential.
him into something else that he's not right now.
Yeah.
Well, that could be true, but you have to be willing to exercise patience.
That's true.
Because he wasn't a dominant player in the SEC East, better yet the entire SEC, when he was in college.
So if you're willing to draft off of potential, you got to exercise patience.
Patience.
Yeah.
It's going to take time.
And have a plan.
There you go.
Yeah.
A lot of teams draft without a plan.
Yeah.
They draft with the anticipation that you're a day one. A lot of guys aren't day one starters.
Yeah.
Newsflash,
No.
there's a lot of quarterbacks in this draft that's going to be
will
picked
not.
high that are not day one starters.
Yeah.
And it's not because of their skill set, it's because of them understanding the game.
They're just not ready.
It's just not ready
Yeah.
yet, right? Now, my next question to you is, being a former player, do you ever catch flack from players, current players, with the, oh man, you hating? And how do you handle it?
Look, sometimes. But my rebuttal to that is this. Anytime I'm giving an analysis on a player that I might know of, or a player who I don't know, I always exercise respect first. I'm talking about the game.
Not you as a person.
Because when we played the game, Cam, it was a lot of times I had to look in the mirror and say, man, I sucked this past Sunday. That fourth quarter was tough on me.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do any right.
It's tough on me.
Oh, man, it's hot outside. I can't cover nobody. I can't make no tackles.
It
happens. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
But then you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I wasn't at my best. And our job as former players, when we talk about players, we got to exercise respect, but also talk about what you did not do that was right. Then we're going to applaud you when you do ball out.
For sure.
That's true.
But I think a lot of analysts, Cam, and you can contest to this as well, they just talk off the wall talk. There's no respect involved.
But players will receive their flack. And as former players, when we say certain things, it's like, no, but you're supposed to be on our side. I think now I never gave the respect that I did in my early part that I did for my latter part with realizing like, yo, you got a job to do. We're content creators. No, don't matter if you with Fox, CBS, ESPN, Disney, FanDuel, Dual Fan, Prize Pick, bro, you got a job to do is create the best content as possible. And I love that former athletes are getting the platform to speak on it, right? But when you're trying to do your job and you got more validity with your words because you did play this game, you did prepare for this game, you did win in this game, you did lose in this game. When the recipient of what you're talking about hears it, it's almost like, oh, bro, but he an old nigga. He mad.
Yeah, he the uncle on the porch.
He Uncle Scrooge.
Yeah,
gone. And it's like, bro, I got mad love for everybody because I know what it goes into. But exercising respect and also exercising real. Like, bro, we all got them games that it was like,
Oh, no question. You could be a special teams player and have them games with, boy, I don't want to watch this tape on Monday.
There you go, man. Here we go. And I asked everybody, man, I got a job to do.
but I want to ask one thing though. Even when you all was talking about Daniel Jones, they brought him in, but even for AR to really grow, like he's not a proven winner. Like I don't know how much now he could teach him about being able to manage the scrutiny, obviously coming from the Giants, but. With that situation, what were you thinking the coach was trying to do with bringing Daniel Jones in?
They're trying to recreate a Sam Darnold type situation with Minnesota. Because even though Daniel Jones have been overly criticized, and he's another player, in my opinion, guys, I feel like he was overdrafted. Because when he came out of Duke years ago, he wasn't the best quarterback in the ACC.
Yeah.
But because
his coach got
David Cutcliffe. Yep. And because his word was the ultimate law, it helped him get to where he was with the Giants. But I believe Daniel Jones will be in a position to win this job because he has more football. He's played more football.
More reps.
And if you look at this quarterback competition, I ask both of you guys the same question. Who has more pressure, Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones?
Anthony Richardson.
And they are, yeah, for sure.
And it may fold. Like real talk. Like if I'm Anthony Richardson going into this offseason, bro, I'm really building relationships first with myself, taking myself through these situations like, yo, we 0-3. How would I react? That fear will spark a drive in me like no other. And also understanding like how can I build relationships with my personnel? Tight ends, running back, center, guard, tackle, coach, GM. And ask the honest questions like, where do I need to get better at? No holds barred. Where do I need to get better? Because nobody's questioning his talent, his upside.
No question. You're right.
But you in year 3, dog. It's been folks that's been cut sooner than that.
That's fact.
The worst thing that a rookie can do coming into this league and say this, utter these words, speak of this madness. I got time.
No, you don't.
If you got that mentality, you're going to be sitting down.
Yeah.
You hear me? So whether you want to accept it or not, Anthony Richardson, you got to do better. But this is the thing. I know he can do better. But is he, though? Because that work still has to translate. You can have an unbelievable OTAs, you can have an unbelievable training camp, but it's still going to come down to when the rubber meet the road, week 1.
What you going to do?
How many times, Matt, you done seen folks like, ooh, oh, he ready. He get out there in that 45, 50,000, 60, 70,000, 80,000. And bruh, Well, what my dad used to say, but you're down, you're out there hockeying down your leg. You know what I'm saying? It get tough, bro. That pressure is real.
No question.
You feel me? Here we go, man. Second down, questionable call of the week.
Well, before we start questionable call, we have a special guest, all right? Two-time Super Bowl champ, Pittsburgh Steelers very own, and one of the sharpest minds in football today, representing CBS Sports, Bryant McFadden. What's going on, Brian? How you doing?
What's up?
Man, you was from behind camera, now you on.
He understood this, son.
We here.
Yeah, he understood.
I made it.
Get the folks to turn around.
Give me a 360. Give me a 360.
You know, I'm a big-time Laker fan, so I ain't just putting it on just to put it on. I'm actually a Laker fan. Got a shout out. You're a great Jerry West.
Rest in peace.
Okay.
Jerry.
The logo.
Logo.
You know, anytime you come rock with you, I gotta be appropriate.
You gotta look
there you go.
When I come visit somebody, I gotta bring them something. So I brought my jersey.
Oh, he brought the
So
swag.
you gonna leave the jersey with you?
No, I can't do
That's
that.
what I'm saying. That's about my size.
This was
right
a
there.
hard get right here.
Oh,
Man, let me tell you something.
This was a
Man,
hard
we don't
were
come bearing gifts.
Look, we were so much Mitchell and Ness. Mitchell
Need a deal?
and S.
okay.
Oh, no.
deal.
No. I said it wrong. Ness.
Mitchell and Ness.
Come on now.
Need a deal?
Yesterday,
No question.
a prompt.
No question.
Did. But let's rock and roll. Let's get into it, Peggy.
All right, man. Talking about mentality. All right, as a youngster, would you be hyped if your coach gave you this pep talk?
Our goals are to hit dingers. Everybody better have their eyes on me. Eyes on me, Rylan. Hit dingers. Disgrace the pitcher's family. Make the other players cry and stomp their butts into the ground. Does everyone understand that? There's two types of people in this world. There's winners and there's losers. And just so that we're clear, every time we step on this field, our goal is to be a winner. And if your dad has said, oh, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, just as long as you have fun, well, I hate to say it, your dad's a loser.
So, with that mentality, obviously these kids, you know, they say do it to have fun. But is that a little too much, like, for him to have this type of mentality?
I'm not mad at that.
You know, man.
Because I got that mentality at a young age of just competing, like knowing the value of a good battle. I mean, one of them that you get nervous. It's early. It's good for a child in any type of sport to feel nervousness, a good nervousness, to really question their skill, to say, hold on, am I good enough? The sooner you tap into that, the better off you're gonna be. Now, what happens is you get these kids that's not getting told certain things, and they start believing that they are owed a trophy, that they are owed, you know, some type of certificate for participation. And at what age does that stop? Because you can't.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I love the honesty. You know, when you compete in sports, and I hate when parents or coaches, when you coaching the youth, it's cliche, where we're just playing to have fun.
Yeah.
No, we're trying to win, because when you win, you have more fun.
Hello.
And the last time I checked, life is about competing. And winning is contagious. If you establish that winning habit as a youngster, it will follow you throughout your life in athletics or just trying to be a professional adult. So I love it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No question.
Nothing wrong
There's
with
a lot of daddies that's out there that's losing.
losing them.
He said it. Coach said it. I didn't.
We hit dingers,
Dingers.
and we win.
And he said make the other parents cry.
Cry. There you
No
go.
question. Love it, coach.
Love it. Keep
Yes,
your
sir.
Hey, give him a raise. All right, here we go. Next clip.
All right, so the heat is on in the NBA. All right, Michael Malone is fired. All right, and does this send a brutal warning to other NBA coaches? Michael Malone was fired less than 2 years after delivering the Denver Nuggets their first championship, even with a 47-32 record and injuries with Murray and Gordon. Ownership pulled the plug on Michael Malone. All right, they said that he clashed with the GM. And, you know, also other injuries because he overplayed Russ, and they wanted to kind of play more underdeveloped players. So they actually part ways. But Obviously, the fire is on Jokic and, how he is dealing with this situation. So, in this situation with Jokic as being the star player, do you feel like did he have the right to speak up, or should he have spoken up for his coach during this time?
Man, look, bro.
And just before you speak, obviously, he said when he knew about the news, they pretty much told him it was already happening and the decision was made.
I disagree. I'm not believing that.
You don't believe that, and that's what he said out in the media. But he said it came to him with their mind already made up, and they told him.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Who the best player in the Nuggets?
Jokic.
Who's the best player in Denver in any sport?
Jokic.
No question.
Yeah.
So you trying to tell me an organization that relies so much on his skill set, his talent, they decided to make a move telling him after the fact? Because he's won how many MVPs?
2.
Under coach? 2. They won a championship. Heck, they competed for a championship right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is when you're a franchise guy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Most organizations, they go through you and before just making that type of move. So I disagree with that, Cam.
Okay,
I can't believe that.
We're going to respectfully agree to disagree because this happened to me. They let go Mike Shula, which is a coach that was near and dear to my heart, right? And they brought Norv Turner in as an OC. Norv ended up being a great addition, but that's not to say it came at the expense of losing Ken Dorsey, quarterback coach, and Mike Shula, which was the same coach that took us to the Super Bowl.
And you had success with.
Yes, and I had no say-so in whether we're going to keep him or not. Because it happened 2015, obviously everything happened. Then the following year we didn't make it to the playoffs, and then that's when he got let go from his offensive coordinator duties. And you know how it goes. When a new guy comes in, they bring in their own staff. Norv Turner brought his son in as the quarterback coach, and that was in preparation to everything else. And so I understand what Jokic is. It's like, yo, you're just a player to some franchises. Now, other franchises, like, they really want your insight. Hey, how would you feel if this particularly happens? So whether you like it, love it, or whatever, this is what I do appreciate about that as a whole. This is a production-based league. If you don't produce, you get cut loose.
Yeah.
Straight up. If you don't produce, you gonna get cut loose.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you done did. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? Dum 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 dum. Ooh, yeah. I tell you, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you something, Bryant. If you didn't produce,
you gone.
Don't matter how many Pro Bowls. Don't matter how many times you were captain. Bro, it's already done. Everybody is up for critique, coaches included.
But also that's too, when you're talking about coaches included, I think that's ownership as well, because I don't think the firing was the issue. I do think it was the timing. When you talk about playoffs.
They about to get in the playoffs.
They about to get in the playoffs.
Yes.
And so they fired him on
Right
the
before.
verge, on the birth of being in the playoffs. And so for you all, both of you as players, how would you have reacted? And it's like, bro, we making a push to get in the playoffs, and then you fired the coach.
This is something, and you know, being in the locker room, bro, it's a lot of information that doesn't hit media. Just certain players don't vibe with certain players. Coaches got a hidden agenda and don't really like management. You know, they have these energies that can be hidden, but if the GM deemed that this would be the best move for the franchise or the team moving forward, that's his call. You see one GM that thought it was a good move, and you see where he at in Dallas.
He's still there right now, currently, but might be short-lived.
That choke chain is
Right
slowly
now.
but surely getting tighter and tighter. Because somebody gonna have, we don't care about injury, bro. What happened to development? We don't care about this person wasn't available. We have to do what we have to do with the player and personnel that we got. So, needless to say, there's a lot of things that is unbeknownst to the public. It's unbeknownst to the media. So, this type of move had to be an internal affair that spewed over or served this time with.
To Peggy's point, though, that's why I feel like within the organization, someone had to know about it, because if you make that move, you would have to be afraid to mess up the entire chemistry as we get ready to go into this playoff stretch. They're a championship caliber team. Even though they don't have one of the top seeds in the West, they still can win it all.
Correct.
So when you make this move with an experienced coach that has coached extremely well in playoffs and championship level ball, just to bring in an heir apparent, who knows what can happen? You know what I mean?
It can go right
or left.
That way. It can go way left.
That way. Yeah.
And I
hope it go left.
I hope
but we can't beat the Nuggets to save our life. I'm happy they fired Mike Malone.
Man,
this probably was an injury for them. This was worse for them. Like, they injured themselves with this firing.
No question. And I hope the Joker leave.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's up to sign a contract to an extension
somewhere.
He's up to sign an extension.
Well, you know, NBA players, they can force their way out any given time.
And that's the difference.
Yeah. So I'm glad.
Do you see him going? Real quick take. Do y'all see him leaving?
No question. I think so.
But hold on. Now, you also said he didn't know about it. So is that you saying him in agreement?
If he didn't know about it, he can't be elated about it.
Yeah.
Because he had success with the man. 2 MVPs, champion. Like,
just a championship 2 years ago.
That don't mean that it's his way, though.
Can you win with somebody that you don't like? A coach that you really don't like?
Yes, you can. Because some coaches aren't player coaches. They're disciplinarians. You know what I'm saying? There's different coaches' methods work. You could be the cool coach and win, or you could be the bad coach and win.
Question for you then. Can you win with a teammate you don't like?
Yes.
You think so?
Can you?
No. Can't.
So you have to like your teammates to win with them.
To some degree. A little bit. You can't really not. Boy, I can't really stand Buddy over here. But hey, I need you to throw me this out route.
Man, listen, bro.
He gonna look y'all.
No question, man. I don't want to know.
Now you about to take it there.
Because if he don't like you,
now you about to take it there. Now you about to take it there. How many times you heard in the locker room?
What?
Get your boy.
I mean,
yo boy.
Honestly speaking, in Pittsburgh, we ain't have that. Our locker room was pretty much together. Like, even when you wrong, I'm with you.
And that's why I won.
That's why we won. It wasn't a tolerable relationship. It was I want to be here with you.
Well, that's the key then. Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. In the locker room that I done been in, we had a lot of Cain and Abels.
Oh, you saw how that ended.
Hello.
Yeah. That
trying to tell you, everybody wasn't vibing with each other, bro, even though we're teammates. Because we would always say, even though we're teammates, don't mean that we cool.
See, and now, you don't have to like your coaches, but I think you have to like your teammates to some degree. Like right now, prime example, Cam.
Okay.
The chemistry y'all got in here is good chemistry.
Good energy.
High atmosphere. I felt it before when I walked in. I said, ooh, that made me feel good.
Okay.
And because of that, y'all successful.
Yeah.
But if there was a little bit of spite in here, it can shake up.
Watch out now.
It can shake some things up to some degree.
You're talking.
And we might not see it from afar when we watch you, but internally, y'all feel it, and eventually we gonna see it. Now, when I'm lying, let me know.
Shut your trap.
I'm just saying. Talk to me now, Cam.
I'm with you when you're right.
Yes, sir.
I'm with you when you're right.
Good chemistry. That's why you got to have good people around you when you're trying to reach great goals. A bad attitude is going to give you bad results.
No, I can't say that. No, bad. It has to be manageable.
And most of them are not.
Because it has to be manageable.
Most of them are not.
Like, look, we do not, man. Bro, I done been on a lot of teams. Good teams and bad teams. I've been on bad teams that everybody loved each other. That didn't result.
It wasn't genuine. No, y'all just wasn't. Somebody wasn't holding the rope. Because when you got that chemistry out there, and we used to play against y'all had some talent. But to what you said earlier, it was a lot of dysfunction going on where guys wasn't really rocking with each other. Like in Pittsburgh, this is what we used to do, Cam. If you had an event, we all there. Everybody. It doesn't matter if you play, it doesn't matter if you're a practice squad, we there to support you. If I had an event, I'm not even a starter, you guys are coming. That's how it was in our locker room. That's why we went out. I'm gonna give you my right arm. I'm gonna go to battle with one arm because I rock with you and I love you. Now, if I'm just saying that and I really don't feel that way, you can tell, well, it ain't genuine.
I'm not disagreeing with you. All I'm saying is, even if you have a bad teammate, it has to be managed.
It has to be.
If you're not manageable, you're not going to spend a lot of time there. Real talk.
And it's hard to manage because usually spite and hate comes in at some point in time.
That's a fact.
And when that happens,
That's a fact.
you can't manage it.
Which is true, or it becomes cancerous.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, bro, you making it about you, bro. We won.
Y'all got good atmosphere in here.
Say less.
Everybody like each other.
Yeah.
That's why y'all doing numbers. I feel it.
We trying.
Living example.
Come on in.
Thanks to commission.
Now bring a bad attitude in here in the fourth and one. Let's see what you got.
You gonna get stumped out.
Control Alt
Delete.
and delete it.
I'm trying to tell you.
We just trying.
Yeah.
We just trying to
Same thing in sports.
Say less. But this is the thing too though. When you're talking about a football locker room, there's more alpha males than a basketball locker room. Not to say that basketball locker rooms don't have alpha males. They have 11, 15, 20 at the utmost. In a football locker room,
it's a lot.
Man, you got 53, 58 on practice squad. Like, bruh, it's like, bruh.
It's a lot.
But y'all don't think that in a basketball? Because
Yes,
more it's like more
I'm
prima
not
donnas.
talking-
Like,
don't hear alpha male and cut it off.
Cause they gonna be like, oh, so it ain't no alphas in the NBA.
Males.
Yeah.
Take the alpha out.
Like he pointing at him. That's what he said. I do not approve
Males,
this.
bro. When you got a bunch of dudes in the locker room, bro, having 15 to 20 dudes, that's a lot.
Yeah, but
Bro, when
50
you-
to 60?
Bruh.
And even with the practice squad guys, they feel like I'm him still.
Come on, bro.
I feel like I'm still
Come
him.
on.
Like I'm supposed to be on the roster.
Come on.
He ain't better than me.
Come on, bro.
So
Come on. It's a lot of that
a lot.
energy that you just have to be like, bro, relax. And even in practice, it's like, bro, you're on practice squad.
Yeah.
Why you going so hard?
boy, they go hard, don't they?
Don't they have to?
Yeah, they do, but
Yeah,
man.
Why y'all gotta be like that?
But it's like, bro, I just played 80 plays in the game,
What
bro.
a
I'm not-
practice
your
player.
hamstring
You know what
still
I'm
sore
saying?
from Sunday.
They trying to feed their family.
They going hard too.
Hey,
But this is
no
what I don't
question.
like.
what?
Shout out to Chief Keef. If you're a practice squad and you get promoted up, and that same energy
It's needed.
ain't displayed on Sundays.
Yes. There's a problem there. It's gonna be talked about.
Because everybody, man, you picking it off in practice. You know the plays. You're reading.
But ain't no
about-
pressure in those situations. That's the
Exactly.
difference.
That's
Ain't no
all.
pressure.
That's all I'm saying.
That's real.
To reiterate, if you're a bad teammate, it just has to be managed. And NBA got less men to worry about than the NFL, and it could just be. Next clip.
Well, this is a fun fact. All right, so the first time since 2012, 2013, the top jersey sale goes to Luka Doncic. Now, normally it has been Curry or LeBron. So this is the first time that
For a decade?
yeah, since
Wow.
2012-13. So this has been obviously Luka with the Lakers is the top jersey sale right now. First time done since 2012, 2013. So Cam, before we even talk about even top viewed players, because we got LeBron James first, Steph Curry, and then you got Luka, and then you have Victor, and then you have Jokic. So these all are foreign players.
Top viewed player? How you know that they ain't?
This is
doing
on socials. On socials, this is on the socials on social sites. These are the most viewed. So these are the numbers that they're giving us. All right, I'm the messenger, brother. I'm just the messenger.
It can be skewed a little bit.
Don't kick me. But just to your point. So question: you always say the NBA is now dominated by foreigners.
By foreigners.
Is this true? Now, Bryant, I want you to chime in on this because Cam says this
I
about the
pick a
NBA.
side, bro.
He picks the side on NBA, MLB, and say that this is not an American sport anymore. It's dominated by foreigners.
That's a big time statement.
Now, Cam, is this correct? Yes or no?
Ooh.
Yes.
All right.
Ooh.
Brian, do you agree?
Hold on. He said the NBA is not an American sport anymore.
Because no, it's not dominated by Americans.
Okay.
Which therefore does not make it an Americanized sport that's dominated by Americans.
And now this is an easy debate.
And baseball.
Oh yeah, for sure. Baseball.
Okay, so
No
baseball, we
question, for
agree.
sure.
We got some
baseball
agree.
and hockey.
Okay, and hockey.
Yeah, no question. And if
All
you
right.
want to go MLS, that's
Hello.
yeah.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah. already know
yeah,
that.
yeah. Now this is an easy debate in my opinion, and here's why.
Okay.
We can just rank the top 5 American-born players, right, along with the top 5 foreign players. And you start with Curry, you throw LeBron in there, you throw
Durant.
Where you going?
Durant.
Keep going.
What you doing?
All right. Who else? Help me out. That's 3.
Would you throw AD in there if healthy AD?
Anthony Davis. Anthony.
Who? Jason Tatum. That's 3. So let's throw Tatum in there for sure. So we said Bron,
Curry,
Tatum.
And we got AD.
I can't say MB because he really, even though he played with the Olympics, he
really foreign.
Let's throw Anthony Davis.
All right, that's 4. We need
need one more.
Anthony Edwards.
John
Morant.
I think Anthony Edwards make this cut for sure. The top 5. Right.
Okay.
So top 5 foreign: Luka, Giannis, Joker,
Greek Freak. Oh, you said Giannis.
That's 3.
You got
SGA. SGA.
Oh.
Do you throw Victor in there?
I forgot about.
But listen.
But now you see how fast you was able to just rattle that off.
Listen. This is my debate here.
What you got?
Now,
is there a debate though?
No, he agreeing with you, right?
No, listen. Okay. But you're in essence saying what I'm saying. If you put this line down the middle,
yes, sir,
and you don't even put anything but at the top of each category, you put an OG and a YN. Now do the list. How many OGs is over to the left?
Okay.
Americans.
Yeah.
How many YNs is over to the right?
And I think right now, that's a great point, by the way, because it tells you how the game has transitioned in favor of more foreign players. Because when we grew up, watching the Jordans of the world and the AIs of the world, Pat Ewins, David Robinson, whoever, it wasn't even close. You had a few.
Yao Ming came over here.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, whoa, what is that?
Dirk changed it.
Dirk.
I forgot about Dirk. Come on, America.
Man, listen. Who you putting
America?
Bro.
A top 5 foreign team versus a top 5.
America.
You going with the foreign team?
Huh?
I'm still, at least I'm proud to be an American.
Now, we would have to think about the bench roll. We ain't got enough time for that. But we starting 5. I think I might have to take. Who you taking, Cam? I'm going to let you say it first. Your show.
You say it's good energy in here. Bro, I got to go foreign.
I think I do, too.
And boy, if it ain't foreign.
In a game of 7. A game to set, like a game 7 series.
Wemby.
Come on, bro.
Luka.
Everybody healthy.
Giannis. SGA.
Joker.
That's heavy.
No,
that's pressure.
God
but to the overarching thing, and go argue with your mama or argue with the nearest wall. These top 3 sports: baseball, basketball, football. There's only one of those sports that is America's sport. Not by viewership, because if we go viewership, we already know what that is. But the impact of Americans that play the sport. And NBA, your time is ticking, unfortunately. It's only a matter of time until we look up and somebody gonna say, man, it's a global sport, what you expect? Understood. But it'll take a cold day in hell for multiple foreigners to come try to dominate football.
Oh, no question. That ain't happening.
What? I don't believe that. No. I swear, if they put football in Africa.
No, it don't matter.
Man, let me tell you, because this is what football has that other sports really. You got to have choreography. You got to have strength, speed,
mentally and physically.
It's the only thing. That's not to say guys don't have choreography, being able to be like, okay, boom, skillful. It's more than just skill.
This is what I have to say against that. And granted, obviously y'all biased, but only reason why football is not dominated by foreigners as of yet is because of the financial burden it is to put together a football field, a team, and all the things that go into it. Whoa. Now, hold on, let me, and I'm saying this because of this. If you need a soccer ball, you got your soccer ball, you can create your net. Baseball or basketball, you can create you a hoop or whatever.
Hold on.
Football, you need these pads, you need this field, you need all this other stuff.
Let me get them. Can I get them?
But I'm just saying, only reason that's saving Americans right now is because the financial burden it is to play football.
I'm a guest peg, but Cam say I can get you on this one.
Crush him.
I refute that, and here's why. Growing up, I remember we ain't have no ball. Guess what we used to do? Get a soda can, step on it, shoot 'em up tackle. Throw the can in the air. Whoever catch it, Live bait. Go get
Live
them.
bait.
Shake everybody.
Yeah, throw it up, bust
right
'em up.
on the side of the house. You playing on half grass and half concrete and
Sideline
dirt.
pop.
No question.
Sideline.
I wasn't trying to run on that concrete. I wasn't trying to scrape up my knees and mess up my pants. I'm staying on the grass.
You got to make a business decision.
No question. My mom used to get mad at me all the time. I had holes in my long pants. And Levi's. Them stiff Levi's, by the way. Hey, we ain't had no ball. We ain't need one.
But when did you refine your skills? That's what I'm trying to ask you.
As I got older.
And play what?
High school.
Okay.
You know, middle school.
Regulated.
High school. Yeah.
Football.
And I'll say this too. Coaching back then is not as advanced as it is now. Mm-hmm. A lot of things I learned was watching guys play on Saturdays and Sunday. But because of the God-given ability, I was able to excel along with the work ethic.
Let me tell you something, man. When you talk about comparing sports, they can say whatever they want. You can't get fouled on the field. Only time that's an infraction is when the ball is in the air. You're going to have to knuckle up. Yeah. One of the coaches used to always, was he there with you? What was the special teams coach?
Hey, Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
We had Liz and Amos.
White dude, the white guy that's there now, man.
With the bubble gum.
Man, listen.
Coach, I forgot his name.
Man, I went to Washington. He was in Washington when I went there.
Uh-huh.
And Washington wasn't going to pick me. He had this picture up in his office. And it was a picture of a barbed wire jockstrap. I said,
what?
Man.
You walking into.
I said,
barbed wire.
Listen, bro. I looked
Please,
and
you
it
gotta
was
tell us.
glaring like it was sticking out. Like I'm like, bro, explain this picture. He said, every single player that played with me, I have to be able to say that he can put that on. And not flinch.
I don't know if I'm gonna flinch.
But understand, it's the mentality.
Yeah,
though.
it's the mentality.
It's the mentality.
Hey.
Now, when you start comparing sports, it has a little bit of every single thing in it. You just can't be the toughest guy out there, and you get caught in open field and you're over with. So that's where the choreography comes in at. The skill comes in at. The physicality comes in at. And the toughness, it's so much that in basketball you get fouled, but for playing too rough D, like, come on, bro.
Man, back in the day when we was younger, Oklahoma drill,
Oh,
lay on your back.
yeah.
First day of pads.
Let me tell you something.
Lay on your back.
Let me tell you something. Oklahoma drill, bull in the ring. Those two exercises
send you
alone made the most basketball players this world has ever seen.
Hello, and I was a hooper, prime time.
And I can't pick who I'm going against.
Boy, hold up. 1, 2, 3.
I used to try to get in the line and try to size up my side. Like, where'd he go? No,
Bull
you
in the
here,
ring
you
was
here.
worse. Bull in the ring was worse.
Oh, that bull in the ring. Don't question. You trying to figure out.
You over there.
Hey, Cam, you always.
Everybody know.
Cam, hold on, you was always a big jit, so you ain't had to.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody know.
Most
When
of them know.
when you got that Oklahoma drill line, it goes like this.
Well, that line gets short, man. No.
Boy, let me tell you something. You see a guy over there like Peggy? Oh, bro.
You gotta get out the way, because I'm coming.
I want Peggy.
I want him too.
I know everybody want to pay. Now they looking at
That's
chops
you
now.
seen them knees. You seen them knees.
And I'll do one further. Before you even get to the full padded tackling drills, just what you got to do, the conditioning.
Yeah.
We got to run. Why am I running 24 110s?
Okay,
time.
Let me
in the
ask you.
summertime. That don't even make
Man,
sense.
these guys are biased, bro.
24 110s?
Let me tell you something.
You remember them workouts in college?
Yes, sir.
There's some uncles on the porch.
Hold on. We having a moment here.
Good moment.
An organic moment.
Good moment.
How would you identify if a player wasn't good? What would, like, growing up, not in the league, growing up, how would you identify if you'd be like, oh no.
This is the eye test?
Yeah. This the litmus.
Just the look?
Just the look. Like, what would you use to look at Cross and say, oh no, he trash?
I gotta look at them calf muscles. if you got skinny calves, I think I can get you. If you ain't got no good calves,
Then you
I
trying
think
to
I
be
can
personal.
I can scoop you easily. I'm tackling him.
Then
You ain't got
trying
no
to be
good calf
personal.
muscles.
Calf muscle. Peggy, you want to lift your calves up?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. The legs are personal to me.
Show your leg, Peg.
My leg, big and ass, a little swollen right
He
now.
look better
Going
now.
through
He
something.
developing. That's progress. He ain't stagnant.
It's two things. When I was in rec ball and even in high school, there's two things I used to look at. Number one, what face mask you got?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
If you out there with a suey face mask, We know you trash.
The one with
Oh no, that Thurman Thomas. That Thurman Thomas. You see a cross. You praying to Jesus. I can't. I see 3 balls.
Look, that's that. And the second was, you wearing all that gear for practice. Because real ballers wear less gear as possible.
No, you trying to be
You
quick.
got your gloves.
Yeah.
They don't want the Eric
turtleneck.
Dickinson.
No. You got your, bro. You got to be nimble and quick. You got the shin guards,
Yeah.
ankle braces.
Trying to be light.
Let me tell you something, bro. If I see all that gear, and especially I ain't come from a lot. If you got the new shoes on,
You look good.
y'all got Play It Again Sports where you grew up at?
No.
Man, I had to go to Play It Again Sports.
That's the rewrite. That's the used gear.
Man, used stuff.
Down in South Florida, we had Just for Feet.
Nah, that's
in the
still new though.
Yeah, that's still new.
See, I had to go to the local good spot where it was. Play It Again Sports was almost like the sports adjacent Goodwill.
Oh.
And
That was below Goodwill.
I had to pick out my stuff.
You was out there hungry, huh?
Man, listen, the
Hungry.
cleat bottoms
He had
was
to go
so
pro.
raw. I could go take my cleats and go play basketball. That's how raw that was. But if I see some new gear, I was already mad. You had new gloves.
pissed off.
Pissed off.
We see why you did what you did. You was out there hungry for real.
Had to.
Play it again, sports.
I had to. Anybody from the South, especially from
Play It
Georgia,
Again.
know what Play It Again
Yeah, we
sports.
never heard that. Another thing, Cam, if you got an ugly number, they just gave you a jersey.
The ugly number
Hey,
is
just here.
on Universal.
When
You
you
wanna
just
laugh?
get an ugly number,
That's the third.
you just here, you take that. That means you ain't got no say so. I'm
I
just happy
seen
to have
the
a
kid
jersey.
this weekend with 39, like on 707. I said, boy, how you got 39?
You can't be out there in the DB secondary with high 40s.
Oh, you trash.
No. Not only just a jersey number, because this is a 3B or 3A. If your jersey was too big.
Oh, Suey? Oh, yeah.
If you had to,
That thing come all the way down there, look like Bernie Kosar, man.
well, you got a
That had a
pair
big jersey.
See, that's right there. See, football players, look,
Yeah,
if you got the duck face mask, if you got too much gear,
Ugly
right,
number.
jersey number, and
Uniform just ugly. And another thing I hate too,
I'm going to attack you.
when your pants be sagging on you.
Come on, bro.
Fix your
pants
pants
too
up.
big.
You can't have no saggy
We
football
came
pants.
up in an era where you knew you was fire if you had the tape around your
The face mask.
Sean Taylor. Like when you had that, and even when you had it, if it was messed up like this, he a thumper.
That mean you hitting people. Yeah.
If you had the scratches on your helmet,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Them war scars right there.
I didn't want to run them with them people right there because they just look throw it off.
You had to look,
Yeah,
and that's when you had to make a business decision and say, whoa, hold on.
Hey man, it's a different mentality, man. Like I said, just the summer workouts, bro. We run all those hills. We doing 24 110s time, and if you don't make it, it don't count.
Yeah, you know.
I just ran down here full speed in under 11 seconds. And you telling me it don't count?
There you go.
In what world?
Come on, Peggy. You couldn't last, Peg.
Man, whatever.
But we ain't gonna talk about you. Here we go, next clip.
All right, so talking about making it count, the NBA playoffs is here and near. All right, so what team has most to prove? Who has the most to prove? Do we got the Lakers? Well, Luka, his start with the LA Lakers. Do we have the Clippers with Kawhi and him being healthy? Cleveland, is it their time now to make a breakthrough? If it's not one of these teams, what team do you all think has the most to prove in the playoffs? And who do you think will win the NBA playoffs?
OKC. They got the most to prove.
Why so?
Second year in a row, outstanding regular season, nice seed in the playoffs. You got to find a way to get there. At least get to the NBA Finals, in my opinion. They've been dominant the whole year. Arguably the MVP of the league in SGA.
Yeah.
Right? The entire team has been clicking. We saw this last year, though.
We did.
Yeah.
Short stay in the playoffs. So I'll say OKC. They have the most to prove because they've been the best team the entire season. When you're the best team in the regular season, we expect to see the same success in postseason play. Who do I think can take it all? I got to go Boston again.
You think Boston can?
They have an easier path to the finals in the East. The East is not as deep as the West. That's one thing. And they got 5 guys in their lineup, but 4 can easily take over the game at any given time. Pick your choose. Any other team, you got 2, maybe 3. They got 4. 4 alphas. And Big Al Horford, he ain't no slouch either because he has experience. But you look at the other 4 guys in the lineup, Pick and choose your night. Cam, I got it this night. You all right. Jaylen Brown can tell Jason Tatum that. Think about that, how that alleviates pressure.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with the LA Lakers.
They had a
Most approved?
And it's not even directed to the LA Lakers more so than LeBron. Because time is dwindling.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, what else do you need? You needed another person. We go out and get Anthony Davis. That worked. The
bubble. I'll take that count. The bubble championship count.
But then you say, okay, I'm willing to. Now, if you don't think LeBron had anything to do with that, you a fool.
He said he did.
Fool. Huh? A big one. Now, it's not to say that he's not capable of living up to the pressure, but it's like, bro, what else do you need? See what I'm saying? It's like the Lakers got time with Luka, but they may not have a lot of time
with Bron.
You're right. That's all I'm saying. So if they don't do it this year, we really got to go back to the drawing board and say, all right.
You right?
Has this ship sailed to the degree of giving the demands to what we've deemed is arguably the best basketball player of this generation? Now, when do we draw the line and say we got to move forward with that?
I was thinking also, too, the Denver Nuggets. Just with you
the
got
move.
Murray, Jokic. Now they got Westbrook that they haven't.
They
fired the coach.
Yeah,
but they can
that
blame
might
it
give
on the
them
coach.
excuse.
But
They
I
got an
also
excuse.
too that could be an excuse. But also it can put a highlight on the players too, because it's like, all right, we found a new coach or whatever. Because it's like I think the coach was the warning, and now it's like, all right, now we got to get rid of players if they're not gonna produce. So that's my only thing about that in regards. And with Russell Westbrook too, it's like, bro, we keep putting you on winning teams, but you can't help us get to the next level. So even if it ain't a team thing, it might be a him thing
everything
too.
about Russell Westbrook I love, bro. I mean, adore. But I hate to say it, dog. But you got to put Russell Westbrook in the same category as CP3 and Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
You love them. You love and respect what they've done, but they just don't win.
Can't win the chip.
Can't win it all.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like every team that they went on, it's like they show flares of like, oh, and then it's like, okay, in the playoffs, it's one of them situations. I hope the Nuggets win just because of Russell Westbrook.
So he can get there.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then what else you got to say about him? But it's like, okay, if that doesn't happen, where do you go next?
Yeah.
You feel me?
I don't know where.
Here we go, next clip.
All right, Stephen A. has a message for Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, are you listening? You are a superstar in this league, my brother. Box office, 19 points a game this season against the Lakers on 40% shooting, 32% from three-point range. Not good enough. Because I could easily see the Lakers winning this in 6, okay? If Ant-Man himself says, I'm sick and tired of these damn superstars and LeBron James and Luka Doncic, I got something to say about that. I'm Ant-Man. That's who the hell I am. And I'm not going to be averaging 19 points or 40% shooting. I'm going to show you who the hell I am. And if this brother goes out on a court and looks like he looked in the first round against KD and Phoenix last year, looks like he looked in the second round against Denver last year, if that Ant-Man shows up, that brother going to win about 2 or 3 games by himself. Anthony Edwards is averaging over 30 this series.
So, do y'all think
He need
Ant-Man-
help, bro. This is what you don't realize when you have a superstar. There's times where, okay, he's going to take over, and there's also times when it's like, okay, bro, help me get in rhythm. It don't matter what sport. It don't matter who's the superstar. When you looked at what Ant-Man did last year versus the Phoenix Suns, everybody played their role, and he still shined. When he's not shining, then what you do? See what I'm saying? Like Mike Conley, lucky lefty, right? A lot of guys played their role in regards to assisting the superstar, and oftentimes we forget that. That's all I'm gonna say. Is he capable? Yes, he is. But there's still times, and superstars will never tell you this. Like, bro, I need help.
What do you got, Julius Randle over there now? And so is that? I mean, I don't think that's enough.
I'll say this: I'm not concerned about Ant-Man. I understand he averaged 19 in the regular season against the Lakers. I'm not concerned because, to your point, he is him. I'm more concerned about Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Because what we've seen when they moved on from Cat, brought in Julius Randle, it kind of took a step down.
Yeah, he's not,
It was a decline
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
For production.
No question.
Yeah.
And if you go back to look at how their season ended last year in the playoffs against the Mavericks, no one was there with Ant-Man.
Yeah.
He was going against Luka and Kyrie.
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
And he had no help.
Yeah.
So if the others, to your point, if the others don't step up, highlighted by Julius Randle, I hope the Lakers sweep them.
Bro, oh my goodness. Lakers at 5.
I want to.
So y'all going with Lakers over T-Wolves?
Yeah.
Man, just make it.
Don't do that because Ant-Man is your hometown crib, your bruh. Don't be biased, Cam.
Don't do that.
I said it was good energy in here in the atmosphere.
Don't kill the atmosphere.
Bro. I wanna.
What you wanna?
I want a series, bro.
You want to go to 7?
Question.
I want a series.
All right, so what you
I
got?
don't think that Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves has enough
There you go.
to
Be honest.
beat the Lakers.
There you go. Be honest.
But if we're talking about performance versus performance, I think he performs better than any player in this series.
Not Luka.
Who? Is Luka guarding Anthony Edwards?
Nope.
Exactly.
No, I think he's gonna outperform Luka. I think he would have the best series, but the
that's
team would
thing
not
that-
win.
Look, I'm going back retro in outside playing basketball. You can't talk crap to me if you ain't guarding me.
That's how it used to be, but you know it. They don't do that now.
Yeah.
Right?
But I'm saying, is
Luka
guarding Anthony Edwards?
There might be moments, but I don't think he would be assigned.
That's
Oh, no, that's over with.
I think Anthony Edwards will perform the best out of all the superstars, and that's including LeBron.
It could happen.
In this particular series, but I don't think collectively the Timberwolves has what it takes to beat the Lakers in 7 games.
I agree.
Well, there we have it. Quick shout out to the WNBA draft where Paige Beckers went number 1 overall to the Dallas Wings. So can't wait for the WNBA season to start.
Yeah,
just want to shout them
and
out.
I didn't find this out until today. I didn't know that you got to do 3 years.
College.
Yeah, for women's sports.
Yeah. They shouldn't make it one and done like it is
One and
for
done.
men's sport.
But also when you start talking about the compensation, well, it's starting to grow, but it's like
that's a good
that's
point.
the
because
thing, the
if I'm
compensation.
they making more NIL money than WNBA.
Now they are, but it's like, hold on.
But
Hold on,
now,
wait a
obviously,
minute.
if they get compensated more, then I think they should open up the one and done because you literally, when they say focus on school, look up a backup plan, like with the WNBA, no disrespect, but you will have to have something in your back pocket. You might need a degree because of the pay.
This the other day.
Unless you're a superstar player who make endorsement money too.
I thought about this the other day. Somebody said this, and I was like, yo, this is something to consider. What if, to boost ratings, they collab the leagues, collabing them in a way where you got the Los Angeles Spark, right?
Yeah, the Sparks.
And the Lakers.
And the Lakers. So what if the Sparks play early and then the Lakers play late?
So you go to 2 games every game.
So that means the WNBA season will have to start
When the
adjacent
NBA
to the NBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then
You get
also
a 2
too,
for
I think
1.
it would. That's cool, but then it's gonna be some mess of like, how are we divvying up the money?
But I'm talking, bro, it was just a thought.
That
thing.
would, I mean, it's like high
Like
school.
high school.
You got the
Like,
girls varsity, boys varsity.
High school, the girls used to play before the
For
boys.
the boys.
Yeah. It's
JV
like,
play
what if you
early,
take that
girls.
same method and bring it into the professional? Like, it's like, yo, every major city has WNBA.
Yeah.
They're already trying to combine the all-star experience.
And they have, to your point, you see females involved in three-point contest, the challenge contest. So they would have to move the WNBA draft back. Yeah. Because it just happened.
But then also too, only thing I said that would be messed up, they would have to probably share, the logistic part, the logos and the floor and all that stuff. That's the only thing. But
listen, bro.
There's a will, there's a way.
that is, hey, that might not be a bad idea.
Somebody said that, and I was like, yo, why don't they do that? And it's for
The money turning over the crowd though too.
It ain't turning over the crowd. You get 2 for 1. If anything, it will boost.
Would the NBA be willing to do that? Because the NBA would be helping the WNBA
Yeah.
more than the WNBA helping them.
Correct.
That's the thing.
That's the
if
thing.
we in it together, if we preaching equality,
Adam Silver gonna say we ain't in this together.
When,
We trying to stay up.
when them greenbacks come in,
no question.
less we trying to spin. Okay.
say less. It was just
That's a
That
good
is-
idea.
that is a good- that's something to think about,
That's a
though.
good logic.
Just
Yeah,
saying, like,
that
yo,
is.
if we to advance this sport, right, to put more eyes on it, have a
To
2
come
for 1.
together.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or do it for some games.
Yeah.
Just to try it out.
Maybe in the second half to kind of see.
Just say, hey, you look at artists, Drake, Kendrick, Chris Brown.
Even them, they don't have a show just by themselves. They got openers. They
just
do got
They
openers.
just open, not to discredit,
Discredit
or
it, yeah.
disrespect nobody. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, we just need an opening act, right? And I don't know if that's the right wording
To say, yeah.
because I do not want to disrespect,
Yeah.
because I am still the person that's saying that the NFL and the WNBA are still the only 2 major sports that's dominated by Americans, okay? Now, if you were to do that, I think that will bring more eyes to the sport,
Yeah.
and it'd be good for business.
You know,
Mm-hmm. Especially for the WNBA.
But all right,
we
They
do have
already-
we do have a French phenom. All right, Dominique.
19 years old.
Yeah, 6'6".
She can dunk.
She like Wemby
but
off the
listen,
drop
though,
step.
Listen, they
Coming in
already
WNBA.
do it with advertisement. I don't know if y'all ever seen it with this copyright is blah 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 blah.
Right,
They
blah,
have the
blah.
WNBA and the NBA.
Yeah.
When you look at like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Yeah,
boom.
You got
It's
a
like the
WNBA player, NBA player. You right?
You're already
They
doing
could.
it with the numbers. That's keeping the NBA afloat.
Yeah.
And
So
would
we might as
bring-
well consider it.
And you would bring probably even more women into the game too.
Yeah, that's not really familiar
It's
with the
gonna.
game.
It's not gonna be bad for business as you thinking.
I think they should do certain games like that
Try
just
it
to
out.
test it out.
like
Try
you're
it
doing
out.
it, bro.
Or do a preseason. You know when the
Preseason.
NBA has some of their preseason games?
For sure.
Yeah.
That would be the moment to do it.
For sure.
Test it out.
Preseason, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that-
It's
that
one
might
of,
be a
man,
good
look,
idea.
man, you heard it here first, 4th and 1. Good energy all around.
Good energy.
thoughts
Ain't no
all
bad players in here. No
You know
bad
what I'm
attitudes.
saying?
No bad player.
Here we go, 3rd down, fan question of the week. Let's see what we got.
All right, Vinyl Richie said, why the hell Isaiah Thomas feel the need to comment on LeBron being shirtless hours before a game?
LeBron James going to play the game like this. Shirts and skins is what they're doing in that way.
I just totally 100% object to this. And if I was the GM or coach,
Me too.
I would never let one of my players walk out on the floor looking like this. I mean, we are a professional NBA league. We ain't summer league. We ain't, you know, at the YMCA.
Listen, I think coaches got to go back to suits. I just mean.
Absolutely. You know, I just think
College and pro.
I just think the professionalism in our NBA league has diminished so much. And I look, I like LeBron, I'm a fan of his, so forth and so on. But to walk out on the floor before a game with no shirt on and shoot, I mean, come on, man. Where we at? What we doing?
I'll say it this way. To my point that I asked you earlier, is Isaiah Thomas hating?
I don't think he's hating. I wouldn't consider his statement to be hate to LeBron James or what he did. He's just giving his personal opinion about how he feels about it.
Okay.
So it should not be received as he's hating on LeBron. He has no reason to hate on LeBron. That's my personal opinion. I don't think so.
Is he right?
I think he's wrong.
Okay.
And the reason why I say Isaiah Thomas is wrong is because when you look at LeBron in that video, no one is in the arena except the team's officials.
Mm-hmm.
No fans are there. Mm-hmm. Nobody who paid a ticket is in the arena. So clearly that's 2 or 3 hours before tip-off. It's no different than you go to an NFL game, indoors or outside. What players usually do? Warm up with no shirt on. Mm-hmm. right? Especially when it's cold outside. That doesn't make any sense, by the way. But they want to show how macho and big and tough they are.
So that's why I would say he's wrong, right? I understand the statement and what he's trying to stand on and the professionalism, but if we're talking about, okay, what would a football player do? You know, you had a teammate, Ryan Shazier.
Yeah.
Right?
No shirt.
Bruh, he would come out there, Jack, it's 30 below.
No shirt.
And it was just a mentality thing. Now, he was greased up with Vaseline.
Which doesn't work, by the way.
But that was his thing. You see the, what's the Browns tight end? Njoku.
David Njoku.
David Njoku.
No shirt.
No shirt.
Yeah.
So that's with a stadium full of fans that's coming into the.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody made a big deal about that. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Look, is it revealing? Subjective. But the reality is, bro, the game has changed since you've been in the league, Isaiah. Mr. Isaiah, dare me not be respectful. Because when you think about the impact, LeBron has been in the league for a long time. Do I think him taking his shirt off is a sign of, disrespect to the league? Absolutely not. Because I don't think this was the first time he's done it.
No,
this is
a lot. That's just his thing.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Nor, if you're preparing for your sport, would you do the same thing? Because if this was the first time he did it, then I'd be like, bro, where
especially
we at?
during this time of the season.
Yeah, where we at? But
you've been doing it.
If you've done this and you prepare like this, like if in the off season, you see basketball players a lot. Man, you can go to your local YMCA,
no shirt,
Boys
Shirts
and Girls
skins.
Club.
Yeah.
You go to LA
with no
Fit-
shirt.
And that's what he was saying. That's Boys and Girls Club, YMCA
But, bro,
stuff. Rec league.
it still doesn't discredit. It's something that's still acceptable from the fan. It's like, okay, cool.
When the fan wasn't even there.
Yeah. It's 2-3 hours before tip off. Ain't nobody in the arena.
No.
Yeah.
Right, doors ain't even open yet.
No.
Here we go, next clip.
All right, Space Age Pimpin' said, "Yo, Cam, in this day and age, where would you have started your career if you was a rookie? Say you going into the draft. If you had a chance to choose,
What team?
What team would you want to be a part of if you was coming in as a rookie quarterback? What team do you see?"
I want to hear your answer, but I got a good one for you. Put young Cam Newton coming out.
Hold on. You say your team.
No, for you, I want to give you your team.
Do you have a team that you think I would love to be at?
Can we say them on? If I count to three,
Yeah,
can we
count to
go?
three.
All right.
You gonna say it too?
Yeah, I said no. I'm counting. I'm doing the countdown.
Are you saying the team?
No.
Okay, you gonna say a team?
Yeah, on the
count of three.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Rams.
No.
Sean McVay? You and Sean McVay together?
And you said Dallas
Who does not want to be on the Dallas Cowboys?
as a rookie.
As a rookie?
So you think you would come in and start over Dak and then
Bro, listen.
Dak
come in
ain't
over
there.
Stafford?
He's drafted how he was drafted at one.
Number one. In this day and age, where would you start your career? Everybody's dream is to go to a legacy franchise in a big market. We're in this age of brand and,
But Cam, you in L.A. with Sean McVay, the creativity,
I understand.
the players around
I
you.
ain't thinking about all that.
With that number one
I
on,
ain't thinking about all
dabbing,
that.
would you dab out there or
I
would you
ain't
see
thinking
walk?
about all that.
Be walking.
I ain't
They
thinking
not
about all
like
that.
Which one you doing?
I'm trying to tell you, if you talk, what's the biggest?
With the same head coach now. You got to factor all that. That's
With Ron Rivera?
no.
With their current coach.
With Dallas head coach now.
Man, if I'm the first pick of the draft and I'm getting drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, that's everybody's dream. Contrary to what anybody may think, Dallas Cowboys is a team that everybody considers as the biggest team in the NFL because of marketability.
That's debatable. Right?
Market.
Who you got? Who
Marketability.
your biggest team, bro?
Hold on. Okay, you say what you say. I'm gonna drop the mic on mine.
I'll say one of those New York teams.
The Giants or the Giants?
Or the Giants. I would say the Giants more
than the
Jets.
Jets.
But
Yeah, I would say that.
up New York?
You got New York over Dallas. Bigger.
Yeah. Bigger market? Yeah.
Man, listen, bro. I don't see New York being mentioned like the Dallas Cowboys being mentioned.
Because of
Listen to
ownership.
Me. Listen to
Jerry.
me. Jerry Jones has all people in the chokehold. Because this is the thing. Even when I went to ESPN and I was asking the common question, I'm like, why do we keep talking about the Dallas Cowboys? And they talked about it on camera and they talked about it off camera. It's like not a lot of teams moves the needle.
Yeah.
Every single time you talk about the Dallas Cowboys, it's going to provoke some type of emotion from people. Yeah. So to win in Dallas, I don't think any other player would have a success story. Man, just imagine. Troy Aikman is still a god. Emmitt Smith is still a god. Deion Sanders is still a god. Michael Irvin is still a god. Nate Newton, still a god.
All of them. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I guess.
And they ain't played in 2 decades.
I think for me, selfishly answering this question, because I was a fan of, even when we played against each other, I'm still a fan.
Right.
But I can just imagine what Sean McVay would do with a quarterback like him.
I get it. You say Sean McVay, I got a Kyle Shanahan.
Oh.
There's a lot. McDaniel. In
Miami, Mike McDaniel.
It's a lot of coaches that, with my skill set at the quarterback position, they will have a field. Andy Reid. It's so many beautiful offensive minds that you'll say, okay, cool. But if you're talking about where I would want to be, I think every football player only can dream about playing for that team and winning, not just playing for them and winning.
When you came out in 2011, did you want to, even though they didn't have a shot?
No.
You didn't want to play with the Cowboys?
No, because it wasn't realistic.
Okay.
I never grew up watching the Cowboys. But knowing what I know now, if you ask me that simple question,
that makes sense.
In this, what would you, bro? Dak Prescott has won off the field and won on the field.
Yeah, you're right.
With that check. Look at doggone your boy, Romo.
Tony Romo, yeah.
If Tony
he
Romo
went to
played,
another franchise,
if Tony Romo played for the New York Jets, would he still have opportunity?
Potentially, you got to say another organization.
No, he just.
I said the Jets and the Giants. I said the Jets and the Giants.
You see what I'm saying? That's the impact of the star, bro.
Okay. The impact of the Giants. Michael Strahan.
Bro, he won the Super Bowl. Look at Eli Manning. They won Super Bowls, bro.
Do somebody Plaxico Burress? He won a Super Bowl, but
he sold his Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, and it almost
he had that incident. That's the thing. That incident kind of
his ring was almost sold.
Look, bro.
What about Barber?
Tiki, he didn't win Super Bowl. He a made man in media.
Made man?
I mean,
respect. He's respected.
Yeah, respected.
What I mean made man, I'm talking about premium. Michael Strahan is on
everything.
America's networks. Tony Romo is on America's network. Yeah. Tom Brady is on America's. Troy Aikman. America's networks.
I mean, you got valid points. I'm not going to discredit your points. You got
Dak Prescott. When Dak Prescott gets done with football, he's going to have access to major networks.
But do you think that's how they push?
If he never wins another playoff game,
if he never wins another playoff game,
he made.
I'm trying to tell you.
But do you think that's the narrative? How they continue to still push the star?
Yes, bro. Yeah. Bro, it takes people to really look at the power of promotions, and when you look at guys who get it right, Dana White, Vince McMahon. Jerry Jones, Donald Trump.
Yeah, you got to realize something. For the viewers, most owners want to be in the background. They want to be in the forefront. Jerry don't mind, and he understands that pushes the envelope to be more lucrative.
Because he ain't going nowhere.
I don't think that they do though.
Yeah,
I think more people want to be on the scenes, but it has to be organic. They don't know how. A lot of people who are good at what they do are introverts. See what I'm saying? Like when you come into a large sum of money, they've dedicated their lives to the journey and losing certain things. And this is just subjective to my thought process, and I must add in that. But when you get a guy like, what's my guy who owned the Dallas Mavericks for so long?
Cuban.
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban was at every single game. Yeah. Home and away. When the Dallas Mavericks won this doggone NBA championship over the Miami Heat that year.
He was in live.
Bro, they was on his jet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, every owner wants to have that relatability to the players, but all owners can't because there's a disconnect. It's a cool disconnect, or they're the guy that got the money.
Yeah.
But you strip the money away, could he still hang out? There's not a lot of people, if you strip the money. Mark Cuban is a guy that, he's a bro. He can hang regardless. And he got a lot of money.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones, the same thing. He's like, bro, he gonna be the uncle. And I don't see him, bro. I've never seen a player speak bad about Jerry Jones. You can't find me a player. Publicly, that said, man, Jerry Jones is blah, 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 blah. And that says something about Jerry Jones.
Or they might be cutting the mic in the background.
Hello.
One of the two.
One of the two. But I ain't heard it. I've never heard a former Dallas Cowboy player say anything bad about Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And that speaks volumes to who Jerry Jones is.
Or what he got, what he can do.
Or the power.
Or the power,
I was asking it on you. I'm like, bro, why do we keep talking about the irrelevant Dallas Cowboys? And now as I start scratching these dreads, and I'm saying, hold on. If you give me an opportunity to win MVP in Dallas, what?
Man.
It makes sense.
Come on, talk to me now.
It makes sense.
Come
when
on.
you're right, you're right.
This is a business decision, bro.
It is.
Here we go. 4th down, Newton's Law. In this particular situation, well, we usually have a hot topic, but now we're going to put you up to the mic. We got a couple questions.
Gotcha.
Bryant, you dig what I'm saying? Appreciate you.
Oh, man. Appreciate the invite, man.
Day.
Good energy, man. Good people in here. Ain't no bad teammates.
Look.
Ain't no bad teammates.
I'm going to tell you what they tell you at church.
Yeah.
Just don't make this be the last time.
Hey, man. Say less, man. Good energy, man. Good results. Yes, sir.
Look, for us, we're started like this, bro. When you think about when you played the game, when you was in the NFL, what is the thing when you're covering the NFL and covering football as just a whole, what has changed the most about the sport since you played?
Just how much they're trying to police the toughness. Police the new rules in terms of player safety. It's needed, but especially when you came into the league in 2011, it was different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now there are limitations on what defenders could do. And I think the referees ref the game with that in their mindset before kickoff even takes place. So I think that's the biggest difference because, most people say targeting, unnecessary roughness. Man, we were taught to knock the man loose from the ball, whatever that takes.
Knock the man loose from the ball.
Knock the man loose from the ball, whatever that takes.
How much force is going to be needed, garnered?
To get it, yes. But now you can't do that because you could be fined, you can be hit with a penalty that can change the dynamics of the game instantly. So I'll say that.
I look at where the game has changed now for me, right? You came into the NFL at what year?
2005.
2005. That was a heavy 4-3, stout middle linebacker, stout, just physicality at its finest.
Yeah.
But now this is a nickel personnel.
11 personnel offense.
You dig what I'm saying? So I say it like this, and as we were preparing for the show, we was just throwing out names, and names that got brought up. Patrick Willis.
Dog.
Right? Ray Lewis.
Dog, yes.
Right? I don't think they will be of high priority in this day and age. Now, one name that I did mention that I said I think he could play and still dominate in this day and age, Warren Sapp.
Because you're D-lineman.
But of a skillful D-lineman.
Yeah, he wasn't just a
he just wasn't a run stopper.
He got pass moves.
He's you know how we look at, and this is football 101 for you to understand. Just how you now see the sport or the position of running back change where you have a third down back. You have a third down defensive lineman that just comes in solely to rush the quarterback. Warren Sapp was so good that
he was in there.
He was there for every single down.
Yeah, he didn't get subbed out.
Like Vince Wilfork. Like you wouldn't see Vince Wilfork in the game. No, he was just a clog stopper. He was constipation at his finest. You know what I'm saying? But it's that. So when we was talking, I was like, yo, the philosophical view of the defensive format, like, so-and-so, middle linebacker, the Ohio State, so-and-so, outside linebacker. Like, you're going to have nickel defenders in the starting role, and they have to be able to contact and tackle.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say going back from decade, like 3 years, 5 years from now, because now – even when you was in the league, linebackers was responsible for covering tight ends.
Yeah,
if
not
you put a linebacker on the tight end nowadays, they're going to get cooked.
Yeah.
Broad, souffled, sauteed, gutted. You put a linebacker on Travis Kelce and see how much yards. He's going to have a career day, even at this age.
Yeah.
You You dig what I'm saying? So all in all,
That's a good debate.
That's what's changed. How we've had the philosophical thought process of defenders and defensive mentalities.
Yeah.
What you got, Peg?
Man, so I know we also talked about the Asante Samuel versus Deion Sanders debate with the T-step. And you know, it went down, you know, when they pulled out the numbers and he was just like, you know, it's closer than what y'all think. So I want to hear what you think. And then also, too, is the T-step effective?
All right, one for Zant, he's a South Florida kid out of Fort Lauderdale. We were in the same county. He was a special player.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Zant that people are overlooking, he was never the fastest, the quickest, the biggest. His measurables wasn't a guy you look at and say, man, we might need to shy away from him because he looked like him. He wasn't like a Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.
But he was instinctive and he knew ball. And he was one of the best off corners that I watched while I was in the league in terms of how disciplined his eyes was. That's why he was able to get 50 books, 50 interceptions.
Yeah.
And he made people pay. And the thing about Zant that we're not talking about, every stop, he was a difference maker. The Patriots, Philly, Atlanta.
Yeah.
So he wasn't dependent on the scheme. He was a ball player that can go take the ball away. And that's a premium. They pay a premium from those guys. So, but when he compared his numbers, I think he can compare his numbers with some of the greatest because he has those numbers. You can't take that away from him. 50 interceptions is hard. We might not see in this day and age of NFL play, we might not see cornerbacks get to that number anymore.
No, they may get doubled that.
50 interceptions?
They throwing the ball more.
Well, we still might not see it, Cam. I don't know who the active interception leader is. Maybe Harrison Smith, who's a safety. But in terms of cornerback, who's still playing? Maybe Stephon Gilmore.
But I don't think it's because of cornerback. I honestly think it's because of the roughing of passer. Like even all of these, the flags that they throw on a quarterback, you can't hit the quarterback the same way and rush him.
But if you watch Zant and look at some of his interceptions, he was just so good in reading.
Yeah.
He was jumping it.
Yeah.
And he was more right than wrong.
Yeah, I played against Asante Samuels multiple times because he played in Atlanta. That was a division opponent. And in preparation, he was always, we wanted to double move him as much as possible. And really, third and gotta have it situations, right? Third and gotta have it situations like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 8, you know, where it's high pressure and the DBs are sitting. So for us, we wanted to take that as an opportunity to take a shot to get to the sticks and double move because you know he's going to be very aggressive.
No question.
But he's banking on it's not only got to be a good route, but it has to be an accurate throw.
Yes.
And if you put that 2 and 2 together, if he says, okay, I got pressure coming, I can get aggressive.
No question.
I'm getting more settled in my feet. I'm playing a catch technique, right? And then I'm going for what I know, right? But the question was, though, Brian, is the T-step more effective than any other defensive back technique?
So I'll answer this from my personal experiences. Yes, for me. Because the thing about a T-step, and I know people were talking about this, and I'm happy because sometimes what defensive backs do, it kind of get unnoticed a little bit. It kind of goes unnoticed. T-step is when you adjacent your feet just a little bit. It's not all the way laterally. Just a little bit. And the thing about doing that is it gives you more grip and it gives you more surface, more balance.
Right, surface to push off of.
Yeah, because if you don't, you might slip. Because think about when you look at the cleats, you only have 2 up top. So if you're only using those 2 top studs, you might slip. Yeah. In a pressure situation, that could be the difference in you getting beat or making a play. And if you just casually watch defensive backs in their drills, either in a game situation or just out working out, most defensive backs are doing that.
Naturally,
because it makes you feel more stable and have more balance coming off. Like right now, if I told you, Mark, get set, go, and give me a false step, you're going to do it, and you play quarterback.
For sure.
So for me personally, it was my go-to thing. And there are a lot of coaches that teaches that as well. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if I teach you that, it will be more of a natural instinct, and it will prevent you from slipping.
Yeah, I think everything that you said was true. I'm not going to get into the technicalities of the position that I didn't play. I just look at his point was y'all getting caught into all the lights and the glitz and the glamour of the player, right? I love Asante. I think there are certain things that you have to really look at outside of statistics that Prime brought that he just did.
You can't argue that.
And I think that's
You
and to
can't
his
argue
point,
that.
he's like, man, y'all, succumbing to,
Pretty much
just
the prime
favoritism.
effect. Yeah.
The prime effect. But it's like, bro, he didn't play special teams. Prime did.
Prime was different.
You know what I'm saying? It was one of them things like, before there was a Darrelle Revis, before that there was a Asante Samuel, before that there was a Jalen, before there was a bump and runs. Like, bro, it was a person by the name of Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Deion.
That, bro, he just spoke to the culture. He, like, what we said, you had to have bravado, persona has to meet your performance. And his performance was there, but he didn't necessarily have a persona like a Terrell Owens, right? Anything great, when you think about the great players in any sport, the great athletes in any type of dynamic, Muhammad Ali, persona met performance. Michael Jordan, persona met performance.
Floyd Mayweather.
Persona met it don't matter where you
Tiger
go.
Woods.
Persona met performance. It was just this greater than life situation. Some talked, some didn't. Some didn't have to talk. But when you think about Asante Samuels, more times than not, some people will say, who? Who is that? Where do you play at? That's not the case with Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's where he was on an uphill battle. And me playing against Asante, yes, his effect was, man, we're not throwing it on his side. He did have that effect, bro. Like, let's not act.
And that's what I'm saying.
You see what I'm saying?
That's why when I saw people casually jumping in and this man was a straight dog.
For sure, for sure.
Like, you had to respect number 22.
But what is it when you start thinking about the greatest cornerbacks or defensive backs? Is he?
No.
He's not going to be mentioned because of this one thing, persona.
Yeah.
And that's just the thing.
Is that right or wrong?
It's wrong, but it's also right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And to back what Cam just gave us, he's not the only one that would have to go through that.
Right.
Because there are a lot of great corners that won't be mentioned into the greatest conversation of all time. That doesn't mean they weren't glorified. I think Asante Samuel should get into the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. When you look at his overall body of work, playing for 3 organizations, being a big-time asset for all 3, and a champion, individually he was a guy who was a baller. Why not? Yeah, he should be.
Yeah. But it's a lot of people in that community, bro. When you take yourself outside of a situation and then you start comparing and contrasting and doing this and doing that, that's why I say, bro, I got so much flack about would I give, my MVP for a Super Bowl. In reality, I double down like no, because even in regular life, right? Everybody ain't no team player. Why are we faking that? Like in every position, like you take the fire chief. Somebody want his job. And ain't nobody gonna say, I'm just gonna be just the person that just, do this and let you. Like, no, bro. Like, I'm doing this to advance. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's acting as like, oh man, let's put the team first. Man, I believe in we're a team. I'm gonna do my job. And I'm in hopes that you do your job the best that you can do so we can do our job together.
Yeah.
You can't control sports as a whole, not just football, sports as a whole. We talked about it with Anthony Edwards. Sports as a whole have so many different determining factors. And in that, the greatest players that we've seen, it comes down to also supporting cast that you just may not have the luck of the draw. Yeah. Look at Allen Iverson. Was he not worthy enough to win in the NBA championship?
He was.
He just didn't have.
His team wasn't good
Eric
enough.
Snow was guarding Derek Fisher. He was not going to be guarding no Kobe Bryant. Who was going to be guarding Shaq? Like, it was just, bruh.
Yeah.
It was too much to handle. I held my end of the bargain down. I'm in hopes that everybody else does. And it's still gonna keep coming up like, bro, that's why you didn't win. It's like, bro, if I can go and ask any individual who's commenting on these things, you wanna be the manager, right? So what's wrong with being the best version of yourself? See what I'm saying? And still being a team player. I want team success. But if you're looking at guys who made it to the Hall of Fame, right? Yes, they were Super Bowl winning Super Bowl winning players, but more times than not, just because you have a Super Bowl doesn't guarantee that you're going to make it into a Hall.
And I think with your statement, most listeners are sensitive listeners.
Oh, for sure.
And that's why you took a lot of criticism. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
Yes.
It shouldn't rub somebody else the wrong way because that's your personal feeling.
For sure. But
that's the issue.
I speak and I chose a side.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be the person that's going to get manipulated and choosing like, oh, man. Because when you think about reality, there's a lot more selfish players, and I don't even think that that's selfish.
No.
That's just how you feel.
Because you have to consider households. You have to consider what's best for you. You dig what I'm saying?
So we got 2 or 3 more questions, all right? So we're not going to keep you too much longer. So we also wanted to talk about the state of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, with the quarterback situation, you all brought in, obviously, a great wide receiver.
Yeah.
But we don't have anybody to throw the ball, So what do you think? What's the state of the Pittsburgh Steelers at this
Honestly,
time?
guys, I don't know. We're literally a week away from the draft.
Yeah.
And as we see it right now, Pittsburgh, they don't have a legit QB1.
Yeah.
If they had to go to battle tomorrow, Mason Rudolph would be that quarterback. Mason Rudolph is the same player they allowed to walk after 2023 season, right, to go to Tennessee. So right now, I don't know. I feel like, number one, my personal opinion, I would have never let Justin Fields leave. He's 26 years old, played more than serviceable football in 6 starts. Seemed like he was building a rapport with the entire offense. So now give him the keys.
Yeah.
You allow him to walk, and it wasn't like game-changing money.
Yeah.
I mean, $30 million. That's a great quarterback deal compared to what other quarterbacks are getting. You let him walk. Then you let Russell walk for $10 million with the incentives to make more. And you're banking everything on Aaron Rodgers. And I'll say this. You putting all your eggs in that basket for Aaron Rodgers, you better make sure you got a bottom. Because if you don't, all the eggs going to fall out and they're going to crack.
Do you really think he's going to come to Pittsburgh?
What my hope is, Peg, Cam, I'm hoping that Aaron silently told Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan, I'm coming, I'm signing. But I'm going to do it right after the draft, where they got this agreement in place.
Handshake deal.
Well, everyone else outside looking like, man, what are they doing? Pittsburgh tripping. But they know Aaron Rodgers is going to play one more year. He's going to be the quarterback. That's what I'm hoping.
I think that's what has happened. First and foremost, certain things don't get out that you don't want to get out, especially if you're Aaron Rodgers. Who do we see Aaron Rodgers throwing to?
DK Metcalf.
Yeah, DK.
And they recorded it, by the way.
Come on now.
Yeah.
So I think this is a vet move by Aaron to say, hey, I'm not going to sign. I need to see what y'all going to do first in
the draft.
Because y'all ain't about to sit up here and go get a top 15 pick, you know what I'm saying, a first-round pick on a quarterback. To go get a quarterback, that's one thing. But an early pick, I'm not about to sit up here and waste my time with that.
But just going off the play from last year, do you think Aaron Rodgers is a big advancement or upgrade than Russell Wilson at this stage in their career? Not right now in this day and age.
I think for 1 year, yes.
You think so?
I think long term, he's not better than Justin Fields because of Justin Fields' upside. Because think about it, when you're talking about a player that's 26 years old, he's like, there's not rookies that's coming in at the age, like you're coming in as like you're 24.
Yeah, you got some,
You
20,
got
on the verge of being 25
You
as
dig
a
what I'm
rookie.
saying? Like the old rookies used to be that age. Now you got guys that's coming in at 21, 22 years old. Okay, cool. But even then, you look at a guy like Sam Darnold, who's been a journeyman up until this point of his career, and he still has bounced around at 5 different teams, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. He's played with the Panthers. He's played with the Jets. He's played with the 49ers. He's played with the Vikings.
Now Seattle.
And now he's in Seattle. That's 5 teams.
That's a question mark this year.
But you seen his performance last year. And this was the first time, some would say, that he had that type of skill set around him. Backed, not just with the skill set of personnel that he's throwing to, but with a good defense. You see what I'm saying? Like those things matter for young quarterbacks. Think about the Jaden Daniels situation. Think about the C.J. Stroud situation. Yes, he had great personnel, but the biggest asset of them all was, number one, a good field goal kicker, and number two, a defense that's going to keep giving you opportunities.
Yeah.
Protect the football. Don't lose us the game, right? And win the game when needed. That combination alone can win you a lot of football games.
I second that with Cam. I think for this season, I would take Aaron Rodgers over Russell Wilson. But long term, if I could have kept Justin Fields, that would have been my direction.
No, but I don't know what – it had to be something. It had to be something about Justin Fields which did not give the confidence to –
keep him.
I'm like, yo, he was 4-2. Why y'all bench him?
Yeah.
And when you were seeing how teams was playing – the Pittsburgh Steelers, you would want a quarterback like Justin Fields because they was playing man to man. They was really, challenging the receivers.
He can run. That's what he does. Man to man.
You had Najee Harrison. And this is Pittsburgh Steelers football. Physicality, we're going to control the line of scrimmage, right? And we're going to play good defense.
Defense has always been that way.
It's going to it's suffocating.
Yeah.
This is the team that you do not want to be down by in the second half because they're going to know how to win the football game. Yeah. They're going to waste the clock, and then they're going to also put up points with that. Now, when Ben Roethlisberger got there, and in the latter part of his career, when he started throwing for the 400, the high 4,000 yards and things like that, but you have the personnel of the Antonio Brown,
Emmanuel Sanders,
those guys was loaded.
No question.
It's something that you got to consider, but that's a veteran quarterback, right? And you have that same type of capabilities if Aaron Rodgers is there too. Go ahead.
So we talked about it previously, real quick, with Nico, obviously the quarterback that just departed from Tennessee. Do you think the NIL market has gone too far?
I think the players got to be realistic, bro. Like I said before, NIL is only to make your college experience comfortable. Don't be greedy.
Oh boy, say that again.
Don't be greedy, bro. Say that again. Like, man, if you're in a situation where, especially with a legacy team, like, bruh, just think about this. If I'm Nico Alamaleva, if you win a national championship in Tennessee, you're a legend for this is if you win a national championship.
Like you in Auburn.
You're in the SEC, you're in the best conference.
Man, my money ain't good in Auburn, Alabama.
You don't pay for nothing?
Man, nothing. Face card,
you
great.
Stay for free, eat for free.
Everything. Just show this. I'm good. So, Nico, bro, listen to me, bro, and everybody alike. Winning still is currency.
Yeah.
Will always be.
Bruh.
Always.
Listen, dog. If he would have won at, Rocky Top, oh Lord Jesus, it would have been a beautiful thing. And he gave Tennessee this was the first time. No, not let me say the first time. But in recent, like they had a year before, and I don't want to misspeak, but Nico probably was the player that gave them the advancements to think like this is the game changer we've always wanted. We had Peyton, okay, that was 3 decades ago. T. Martin came in the following year, won a national championship.
98.
You did. So now it's like, we finally got us one. Eric Berry, shout out to my dog. Eric Berry went there, but he wasn't a quarterback. You got Nico, a guy who has all the skill set in the world. And then you.
First and foremost, I know Nico has received a lot of blame, but the NCAA should receive more blame for not having structure when they created this NIL landscape. There's no structure. They have a house with no fence around it. Anybody can come in and out.
All type of dogs.
No question. Loose dogs, and I don't like loose dogs.
Straight dogs.
Loose dogs. So anybody can come in. Yeah. That's what, for the NCAA to have this corporation, this $1 billion corporation with no structure makes no sense because these kids are doing these things. They can jump ship at any given time. We heard the story that he was thinking about leaving during the playoff run.
Yep.
Bro, we chasing a trophy and you trying to jump ship, hold the team hostage to try to get more money now? But it's not all about the players. It's about their guardians or their parents. You cannot salvage long-term money for the short term. And look at it like this, viewers. Nico was a freshman, right? He saw 1-5 last year as a true freshman, fresh out off the boat from high school, hadn't played one down. This is the deal. It was a 3-year deal around $8 million. First year, 1-5, the second year, 2-5. Played serviceable football, 19 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but he threw 8 touchdowns in 3 games against non-Power 4 opponents. So in the remaining 9 games, he threw 11 touchdowns. That ain't big time football.
Ain't box office numbers, yeah.
Right? That's okay numbers. But you look at you pocket watching. His people are pocket watching. When they see Carson Beck go get $4 million, first thing they gonna say Carson Beck ain't that good. Well, Carson Beck has a more prolific collegiate career than you. He has a better foundation to stand on, and that's what Miami wanted to give him. That doesn't mean you can go get the same thing because your value is not Carson Beck's value. It could be, but going into year 2, 19 touchdowns shouldn't get you $4 million, Cam. And you played good football. Year 2 in Tennessee and Josh Heupel's quarterback-friendly offense was a lot of vertical concepts. Yeah. You can really blow up, improve your draft status for year 3, where you could potentially be a top 10 pick. And the last time I checked, NFL quarterback money, that's game-changing. This right here is kibbles and bits, this NIL money, especially after taxes. And when you pay your handler and then you take care of all of these people. Dak Prescott is getting $60 million a year. What are we doing, Nico?
Yeah.
And now you out here like a loose dog because you ain't got no home.
And now you're really desperate.
And he might take less to find a home because he's going to realize his value is not as high as he thought it was.
Man, everything that you said, Brian, I ain't gonna cap to you, bro, is absolutely right. And I think a lot of players want the reward before they show the goods.
Especially in today's game. You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Man,
they pocket watch.
Bro, when I went on my official visits and when I went on my visits, those things was like, bro, I'm gonna start. Like, now, how fast am I gonna play?
That was the most important thing.
This the dude I gotta compete with? Okay, cool. Say that. I know I'm better than him. Nowadays, it's like, how much money I'm gonna make? How much he make?
That's the first thing. Which we understand is important because for a lot of these players, this is game-changing money for them and their families. So we're not taking any knock away from that, but it's about ball too. Yeah. Because if you're only concerned about making NIL money, you ain't going to the league.
No, for sure. No.
You're not going to the league.
It's heavy, bro. I just hope that a lot of people take this as an example of what not to do. I said this before, and I'll say it again. This is not about money. This story that we're hearing about Nico is a perfect case of good advice versus bad advice.
Boy, what you talk about?
Good advice could save your life. Bad advice could kill.
Especially from the wrong people.
Like, bro.
I know.
And you got people saying, bro, you seen what, man, you better than Carson Beck. You can go out there and like, no.
You got to be real with yourself.
You tripping. I'm in a great situation.
I'm in a great situation. They cater to me. You know, in Tennessee, you eat free.
Come on.
He ain't paying for nothing. He wear team issue gear. You ain't got to spend no money, no clothes.
Come on.
You got a car. They probably gave you a dealer car. Your house, your condo, you ain't paying for nothing. And in Knoxville.
Your people good. Come on.
Anytime there's people go to the game, they probably paying for the whole family.
Come on, and they, that's a long ticket because they from Hawaii.
They cutting a check for that. What we doing? We had a good team last year.
That's a long.
Probably gonna have another good team in the SEC.
Come on, man. And we got recruiting capital.
Yeah. Well, we gonna see how the Nico story ends up.
Yeah. Hopefully, they don't make an example out of him, boy, because.
No, he too good to be like he gonna play somewhere.
But is it a good situation and fits his skill set?
We don't know, but we will see. Bryant,
we talking about Florida State. Can we talk about Florida State?
Damn, thank you.
Wrap us up.
Wrap us up. Here we go.
Here we go, man. When I say all together, we're gonna say one love. When I say all together, we're gonna say one love. When I say all together, we're gonna say what?
One love.
All right. Hey, okay. I said one finger. Yeah. I said one finger. Can't forget the. Hold on. Okay. Let me get back. All right. I said one finger. Can't forget the pinky. Add the thumb. All together, one love. You did.
Appreciate you, brother.